What? 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 What?
Is anybody there? Can you hear
What?
me?
What? 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 What?
Anybody there?
What?
Can you hear me?
What? What?
Is anybody there? Can you
Hello,
hear
Elizabeth.
me?
What?
Marjoline,
What?
don't worry. You pay
What?
the fixed price. You get a nice little discount. You get a discount
What?
from the code, and you got a discount
What?
as well.
Is
anybody
there?
Can
Hello,
you hear
Elizabeth.
me?
What?
In fact, the price is going to be more expensive than the Gamescom. Marjoline,
What?
don't worry. You
What?
pay the fixed price. You get a nice little discount. You get a
Can
discount from the
anybody
code,
hear me?
And you got a discount. Hello. As well. Hello, hello.
Hello, Elizabeth.
In
What?
fact, the price is going to be more expensive than the Gamescom.
Are you still
Marjoline,
there?
don't worry. You
What?
pay the fixed price. You get a nice little discount. You get a discount.
Can
from
anybody
the
hear
code,
me?
And you got a discount. Hello. As well. Hello, hello.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, hold on.
That's
That's
the
more
reason
expensive
why.
than the Gamescom.
Are you still
Marjoline,
there?
don't
Oh,
worry.
I know. Chock was
What?
wanting to go to the toilet. Can you
Get a nice
believe it,
little
right?
discount, you get a
Like,
discount.
the worst
Anybody
time.
hear me? And you got a discount. Hello.
Unbelievable.
Hello, hello.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I can hear him coming in.
Are you still there?
Not too much
Oh, I
longer.
know. Chock was wanting to go to the toilet. Can you believe it, right?
Like, the worst time. Unbelievable.
What?
Hello.
Almost there. Unbelievable.
I can hear him.
What's this? What are you doing back here?
I know,
Not
right?
too much longer.
What's this
Chock was
thing
wanting to go to
called?
the
What's
toilet.
this
Can you
thing
believe
called?
it?
Friday Q&A.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been a while.
Yeah.
I best we better get cracking on then,
Almost
yeah?
there.
Oh, which reminds me, I don't God,
Unbelievable.
it's been so long, I forgot what I can hear him.
What's this? Toilet. Toilet. Is it toilet time?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Too much longer.
What's this thing called? What's this
God,
thing
it's so
called?
weird.
Friday Q&A.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been a
Why
while.
am I
I
sitting
best we
here?
better get cracking on then,
Almost
yeah?
there.
Oh, which reminds me, I don't
So many things to do.
It's been so long, I forgot what
It's all built up. It's like toilet. Is it toilet time?
Pressure,
Yeah.
right?
Too much longer.
2 weeks worth of pressure is all building up.
I know, right?
Friday Q&A.
I feel like I'd forgotten what to do.
Why am I sitting
I
here?
best we better get cracking. All I remember is it's time to
So many things to do. It's all built
start
up.
recording, crack that
Toilet. Is
open.
it toilet time? Yeah.
Ooh,
2 weeks
that's a
worth
nice
of
crack.
That's a nice crack.
I know, right? What is up, guys? This is Alex from First Figures.
Hey there, everyone. It's CHOCKS.
Welcome to Friday Q&A with CHOCKS today, 122. It is, of course, the 21st of June, 2019. Good morning,
I know, right?
America. What is up, guys? Good evening, Asia, and you should be sleeping, Australia. Welcome to Friday Q&A with CHOCKS today, 122. PVC is, of course, and 21st of Artorias validation stream. Bada bing, bada boom. You're with CHOCKS. Good evening, Asia, and you should be sleeping, Australia. Welcome to Friday Q&A with CHOCKS today, 122.
Right here, right now.
PVC is a reservation and Artorias validation stream. Bada bing, bada boom. You're with CHOCKS. Good evening, Asia, and you should be sleeping, Australia. So much echo. Hold on. Hold on. It's me. It's me.
As well. My laptop.
Okay.
Yeah.
No more echo.
Right.
No more echo. Sorry, guys.
We gotta, because we.
Whoopsies.
It's been 3 weeks, so we're
I
gonna
forgot what to do.
repeat ourselves 3 times. Echo, echo.
Hold on. I can actually get rid of that echo by turning this
Look at that.
off here.
What a stream. We starting off with like 187. That's like
Boom.
5,
No. 4.
4.
Yeah.
No,
101
Yeah,
is
three.
3. 141, 51 is 4.
Aye.
Call me when it's 200. It's 189 now. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Nah. Yeah.
Sorry about that. So, validation for Artorias kicking off in 54 minutes. CHOCKS, what does that mean?
That means, well, as I was saying, a couple of weeks ago, we started the pre-orders, the reservations, reservations for the Artorias Grand Scale bus and life-size bus. And normally we would do the validation 1 week after that pre-orders, but obviously we've been away for a couple of weeks due to licensing show and E3, which we'll talk about a little bit more a little bit later on. Validation will be kicking off in 54 minutes. So tonight we've already sent out emails. Let me just double check with Lorenzo, our IT guru. I believe he should be sending out those emails. Yes,
We are also on YouTube.
at 10 p.m.
It's just the it's just
Stupid thingy. The little indicator's not
Stream
working.
is not working.
Yeah, so we should be on Twitch and YouTube. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, better
Yes.
check it. Let me see.
So emails are going out, guys. I believe Peggy would have sent out an email earlier on today.
She did.
Probably about 13 hours ago. So you should get a general email which is talking about the validation for Artoris busts. And tonight, literally going out right now, you should receive another email for those guys that actually placed a pre-order. So, first of all, in 53 minutes, that will be the validation, and as the title suggests, the Amaterasu TF, that is True Form PVC, that is coming out. We'll go through that around about 12, isn't it, normally?
Yeah. Are we not live? Let me see.
Around about 12ish time. So maybe in a couple of hours time, we will start talking about the Okami Amaterasu. We'll show you everything, all the lovely stuff, the documentary, you know, as always, documentary hype videos, yeah, pricing, shipping, all that lovely stuff coming soon. So once the stream ends, we will do a FAQ and another blog, which will highlight the pre-order has started and also
we're on
has
YouTube.
the giveaway as well. So stick around and make sure you click on the main post, because there will be free giveaways to give out for PVC, because normally we do that. Free PVCs. What's that then?
I'm making it live. Just made it public. Does save that feature? Should be. That shouldn't make any difference.
Almost dropped your monitor on the
Well,
ground.
I suggest you don't do that.
Then Troy Blair. All right, nice to see you. We will answer that question a little bit later on.
Oh, okay. We're over 200 now, so that's fine.
Oh, now we can do some real
Now
work.
that's fine. All right.
Yay.
Let's do it.
5 lucky winners up for grabs, 500 reward points. We will choose that next week. Normally 500 reward points are given for those guys that are chosen for the hashtag. We will randomly drop a hashtag FRF a little bit later on.
For realsies.
For realsies. So make sure that you do type in the hashtag keyword in the stream, because that's where we choose the winner.
I'm so rusty on Sekiro, honestly. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what day of the week it is, to be honest.
Hey Matty, thanks for joining. Guys, do let us know, is this your first time on one of these streams?
Oh yes, we like to have a Friday Q&A with Chocks and a virgin pop a cherry a week. It's been 3 weeks, Chocks. This is the, you know, so I want to know, do we have at least 3? At least 3? At least 3 in the house? Okay, hold on, let me just raise this up a little bit more. And we should be good.
Alright
Oh,
then.
enough.
Justina, hey. Lydia Bonini.
Lydia Boldini flying to LA, but when you land, nice one. I've just been there. Nice and hot. I love them scooters zipping around everywhere. Ah, James Bennington is new. Welcome, James Bennington. So glad you found us today. I know you know next week's TT is all about them Zoids.
Who's looking forward to
Zoids. It's going to be...
Sonic's birthday this Sunday?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know anybody, James, that might be interested in that? Do you know anybody who might be interested in Zoids, James? Alrighty. My God, I don't even know where to start, Chocks. It's been 2 weeks. Have you missed us? What have you guys been up to? Let us know in the comments.
Keep it nice and short.
All right,
there's a lot-
yeah.
Look
There's
at
a lot
that,
to get
look at
through.
that. There's a lot to get through.
Alright, there's a lot to get
There's
through.
a lot to
Alright,
get
Chocks,
through.
let's kick it off.
All right, let's start off with the
What's up,
notices
bum?
this week. All right, notices. Of course, guys, tonight, finally, for a very long time, it's been in the back end progress for a long time, right?
It has.
Amaterasu PVC. Finally, we will start the pre-orders sometime in about a couple of hours. Yeah. So don't go away. All right, don't go away. Don't go away. All right. Validation tonight. Artoris bus. Okay, guys. Just to let you guys know that just before the validation starts, there will be a couple polls in the club. That is the signature edition, because tonight you will be validating for the signature edition. What that means is it will come with the signature card signed by Alex, some extra reward points, and holographic sticker, the new design holographic sticker, which says signature edition on the front. So tonight the validation will be for those items, and it's first come, first serve.
First come, first
New
serve.
low numbers.
Double new low numbers.
Double new lows.
Double you. Double you. So what that means is the numbers will on first come, first serve, both for the GSB, for the grand scale bust, and the life size bust. They will be completely separate numbers. So you get to smash those buttons, and you'll be able to get assigned those on a low number for those.
All right, so that is those two information right now. Right, guys, just giving you an early heads up. We will have a last chance week for Warp Star Kirby coming very, very soon. Okay, so we're hoping we can get that kicked off on the 28th. So that next Friday, hopefully we can get that kicked off. That will be the time where the last chance week will start for Warp Star Kirby.
Now, obviously, you guys would have seen that I've started posting some production videos of Warp Star. We will continue to do that, so you know the reason why we kick off a last chance weekend is because we've actually started production now.
Alright guys, so that is...
Sarah Bennett, these streams are usually 3 hours and a bit. So if you're here for reserving Ami, that will be after the end of the stream, but we will be going into lots of details about Ami in about an hour and a half's time. So yeah, just want to see how you want to deal with your phone battery on that regards.
Alright. Okay, extended pre-orders. Pre-orders that are still open. Alright guys, pre-orders that are still open. That is Jet Black, the Mini Aqua Aquos, Mario and Yoshi, Meta Ridley, Mimic, Shovel Knight Player 2, and Phoenix Wright, and Alphonse and Psycho Mantis.
Meta Ridley?
Yeah, I said that.
Did you?
Yeah, Ridley, Meta Ridley. That can go off. Yeah.
No, you went from Mario and Yoshi straight to Mimic.
Ridley. Meta Ridley.
I'll play this back. Guys, did he say Meta Ridley? You totally didn't.
Meta Ridley, Mimic, Shovel Knight Player 2, Phoenix Wright, Alphonse, and Psycho Mantis.
Hey, Amanda Robinson, if you want a low number for Ami, you don't need to worry about today. You need to come back next week. Next week at 11 p.m. Hong Kong time will be Ami's validation. Right now, we're counting down to Artorias' validation. So, in case this is the first time you've ever done a validation, you should see what happens for Artorias, because it's like a practice run for what's going to happen next week for Ami.
And even though you cannot, if you cannot join the practice run,
VV
make sure.
did say VV did say that you did say Ridley, so I apologize. It's been 2 weeks away, Chocks. There was a bit of doubt there. I shouldn't have doubted you. Yeah.
I'm listening, but I'm not hearing. Right. So guys, if you're worried about validation with regards to Okami, don't worry. After the stream, we will post an FAQ, which explains how to pre-order, how to validate your Okami PVC. So
absolutely,
stick around. In 45 minutes, we'll show you how it's done.
Everyone's correcting me. Yeah. I really wish I didn't make a boo-boo with so many people on the stream. I call you out in front of all those people because they correct me straight away. Nicole Compliment, what's going on? Thanks for joining. I know she is a massive Okami fan. Do we have any other Okami fans in the house? Let us know in the comments. For surezies. Rob Eubanks or Ebanks says we should have said some other name because Ami and Archie do sound very similar. Don't they, Chocks?
Ami Art.
Ami Art. Indeed. Alright, Chocks, what's next?
That? I don't know why that's up there, but might as well.
Which one? Yes. Okay. So let's just talk a little bit about some operational issues. And one of the things that has happened is that I know quite a lot of you are going to... this is going to come as a how do I say, a bit of a shock, or a bit of a just to say that if you've ever worked with our CS team before, you'll know that there are two people in that. One is Phil, who handles the customer service side of things. I didn't want to say the bullshit, but I was gonna. The customer service side of things. And Brenda normally handles the operation side of things, which is more about take a payment, give a refund, and taking payments or what have you. Okay. Yeah. Brenda will be leaving us, going to bigger and better, greener pastures, I hope, for her, at the end of the month. And what that means is, of course, that whilst we're in the training process, how do I say, of right now, we're hiring someone that haven't arrived yet, and it looks like it's not going to actually happen quite at the right time. Fortunately, the timing doesn't work like that. So what that meant was that we've asked Phil to step up into Brenda's role for the next, at least during the transition period. Now, what that means is Brenda is telling Phil how to do everything. So in case, actually, so just to say, like some people saying like some of their CS tickets taking a bit of time to get back, you know, Phil's actually running 2 jobs at the moment. He's learning what Brenda's doing, and he's also obviously got to go through his own CS stuff. Okay, so why do I say that? Well, I say that because they were learning, or Phil and Brenda were, you know, they were teaching, learning, etc. And what happened was, well, we believe, we're not 100% sure, but having 2 browsers open at the time that we ran the payments of the FlexiPays, in a case of, look, this is what I do, step 1, do this, step 2, do this, right? They both did them on separate computers, and what happened was, despite just looking at only one person hitting submit, because they were both on the browser at the same time, the system went, oh, we're going to have fun with these people's payments, and did a double payment. So it would have affected quite a few people, actually, that they would have had a double payment taken. So you would have seen I posted something like that in the club. You know, the first time I heard of it, I saw it in the club. Chocks, you and I were like, what's going on? And then as we sort of realized...
I was going to make a post and say, sorry guys, we were partying too hard.
Except it wasn't quite like that.
It wasn't quite like that.
It wasn't quite like that. So when that happened, and it was quite clear that it was quite a big scale of that happening, that once we identified what the issue was, which we believe is the issue, we realized that it was really wrong for us to do that. So we wanted to put our hands up and apologize for that, and, you know, apologize again for that as well. So what we're doing, we're reaching out to all those people who've been affected via email and giving them a choice. The first choice, and it'll be given on Monday. We were going to do it today, but we thought, you know, with all the things going on right now, that on Monday you're going to get an email which basically is going to give you a choice of 2 things. The first one is either opt for a full refund of the second payment, because remember it was a double payment. The first one was correct, the second one shouldn't have been taken. Opt for a full refund, no questions, we'll make sure we'll get that back to you. Alternatively, if you don't mind that we've taken that ahead of time, we will give you a coupon code of $10 to go towards a future order. And I know a lot of people actually said they want to use it for AMI. Well, you can actually use that for AMI because the reservation period lasts for a week, so the timing is actually perfect. But so we wanted to, you know, raise our hands and say, look, we do apologize. This happened, and we own it. We admit it. We own it. We want to be transparent about it. We want to apologize about it. And for those that are, you know, okay with us keeping the other payment up a little bit, you know, a month up early, we are going to give you that $10 coupon. And of course, those that want the money back, straight away, no questions asked. The only thing I would say is, just to be clarified about it, is we would then pause the second payment, you know, the subsequent payment that would have been taken next month, we won't, for those that are affected and that opt to not get their money back. If that makes sense. For those who want their money back, okay, we'll give it back to you, of course, but we're going to charge you again in a couple of weeks' time, basically, just however you want to go. Zach, you can use your $10 coupon for AMI. What you need to do is you do not need to pre-order today. You can reserve on Monday after you get your coupon, because, you know, there's no rush for you to reserve today, tomorrow, or whatever it is. As long as you reserve before validation, you're prime position to get your signature edition. So take your sweet ass time, come back on Monday, get your coupon code, and boom, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. When do you know which number you reserve? That's a good question. Well, the thing about the numbers, they're always in a constant state of flux. And you'll find this with validation for our tours, which is going to kick off again in 40 minutes time. And what happens is, let's say Chockles orders and validates, and he gets provisionally number 10 of AMI or Arturus, whatever it is. Then I'm after him and I'm number 11. Well, I can't tell you, we shouldn't tell him that he's number 10 and I'm number 11. The reason why is because if Chockles decides to cancel, bloody cheeky,
then what's going to happen is I will get number 10 and he will disappear off the face of this earth, obviously, if that's what happens if you cancel. And I will get his number. So I will go from 11 to 10. And subsequently, if someone who had number 9 cancels, I will go from 11 to 10 to 9. So there's no reason for us to tell you what the number is, because it's always moving until it's on the boat or it's in the warehouse, and then obviously, well, you're going to receive it right afterwards. So we don't let you guys know what the number is until afterwards. One other thing is, of course, that we do run a estimate of whereabouts you will be. We'll give you the breakdowns of that. We'll do that after Artorias. We'll also do that after Ami as well, so you get the idea of how that's going to be. Hey, Cecile, welcome back. I know it's been a long time. Did you guys miss us? Emma Hardcastle, you know, she's a massive Ami fan. I think she's made some plushes of them as well. It looks great. Sharon, how many days does it take you guys to do a refund? It's a few work days. Yeah, unfortunately, it's quite manual, and I know Sharon's been will be asking for, you know, a refund. It's a bit manual, and to be honest, I don't really deal with it. Well, I don't even know how to do one, to be honest with you. So we need to sort of really see. It's really hard for me to say how long that's going to take.
Hey Patrick, yes, the Artorias Grand Scale Bus, life-size bus, they have their own separate numbering system.
Rob, there is no situation where you go from 10 to 11. Only goes one way.
Hey Zach, just stick around, check out the documentary, the hype video, then you will totally understand what's going on with the PVC, whether it's numbered or not.
Sup, Manuel? Nice one, Emma. Nice one.
Hey Mana, I can see your comment. I'm not sure what other comments you've been posting, but I can see your comment.
Angry Media, can you do a Vulcan Raven? That would be sweet, wouldn't it? We'd be up for that. Thanks, Teddy, on YouTube. I appreciate the feedback on that. Alrighty then, Chocks. So just wanted to say sorry about that snafu with the double payments, and hopefully we haven't lost too much of your trust. We do apologize. You know, obviously it's better if that never happened in the first place. It is what it is. We need to deal with it how we can. So we do apologize about that. Alright,
Vicky, excited to pre-order my first FRF with you guys. Much appreciate it. Hopefully this will become your, you know, up there, one of your best PVC or best figure in your collection.
how do you guys handle duties? Oh, duties. I don't mind paying them, but I swear I read somewhere that you try and ship them. So Veronica, we have 5 warehouses. If you're new to us, we do 5 warehouses. One is in China or Hong Kong, one in Canada, one in America, one in
UK.
The UK, and one in the EU.
Slovakia.
So that means that if you're in one of those locations, you have a local warehouse to you, meaning that you're not having to pay any duties on that. Boom! Let us know where you're based. And hopefully you're in one of those. It covers quite a lot of the places, but not all, Chocks.
Not all, but as much as we can.
Bung spreading the incorrect that there's no duties wherever, but it's not quite like that. But you know, obviously, if you're in somewhere, the Nordic states, for example, they're not part of the EU, so you get dinged a bit there. To be honest with you,
like places like Kuwait. The Middle East.
Alondra, what do you mean nothing loads? Thanks, Kimberly. I know you're usually quite focused on something like Alphonse, maybe, and Banjo. I know you got hyped when they announced that at E3. That was sweet, wasn't it? The Nintendo Direct. So I know you're quite particular about your line. So if Ami's even tempting you, that's very nice to hear. So I appreciate that. Where's the Canadian warehouse? It's in Toronto, isn't it, Chocks? Yes, it's in Toronto. It is. What's up, JT? You gonna come see us in Gamescom this year? Oh, Veronica, you're in Canada. No duties for you. You lucky, lucky girl. Lucky, lucky. Because what we used to do is we used to have a warehouse. Our warehouse is in the US. It's like 5 minutes away from Canada. But they slap you as soon as you go across the border. They slap you with a huge fee, and then also import duties. So we said, let's go local.
Hey Mackenzie, we haven't mentioned anything with regards to Okami yet. We've got to go through the Artorias validation first in 34 minutes. So after that, we'll go through some of the regular topics that we normally do in our Q&A, and then hopefully within from now, maybe about an hour and a half time, we'll start showing you everything about Ami.
Absolutely. Now, my question is there anybody who is here for the Artorias validation LSB GSB? I want you to go to your order page, then locate the one that you did for Artorias GSB or LSB or both, and then look for the button which says this is a blind pre-order and validation is not yet open, and hit refresh. Find that refresh button and let us know in the comments that you found it. Let us know if you can't find it and you're looking for it, and we'll help you out. Just want to ask you that question on that. Hey JT, but then who's going to give you my waffles then? If you don't come down, who's going to give me my waffles? All right, Rob has found it. Bruno's found it. Sweet, sweet. That's what I like to hear. Matthew, look and find. Yes, we do have there is a FAQ for how to validate, a step-by-step. Do let us know, though, if you are looking specifically for Artorias or for Amaterasu. Amaterasu, you know, unless you have an order that is preparing for validation, you won't see what I'm talking about. Nice one, Mr. Cole Campbell. He's got the refresh button. Looking forward to your GSB. Nice one, Alex Holmes. Appreciate that. Sweet Michael, you found it. That's great. Sorry, Alondra. 3 figures in about a year. Much appreciated. Welcome to the fam. I know, right? Sharon Strootwoff was like the best thing. Thanks, JT. I appreciate that. If you do make it over, do bring me over a little stepladder so I can say hi and give you a proper hug. All Dutch are so tall, aren't they, Chocks?
Very.
Nice one, Billy. You got the bottom on both of your orders. I appreciate that. All right, cool. Let's keep on going with the notices because we've got weeks in review. We've got videos to show. We've got things to do. What's going on, Chocks? Various suit shipment concerns. What's that all about? What I wrote today, which is basically saying, look, guys, I'm sorry. The various suit is super difficult to do. If we can make it as fast as we could, we would. But the factory is slow, and also our QC is at a level that we're saying it needs to be. Like, people are waiting for 3 years, and they're going to give them rubbish? Hell no. So we have to make sure that the QC is on point. And so far, touch wood, majority of people who received theirs have been happy with them, with her. So we know that all of a sudden the wait is going to disappear as soon as you receive it. It is what it is. It does take how long it's going to take. So sorry about that. It's just I know some people are getting antsy that, hey, I ordered it 3 years ago, other people are receiving it earlier. It's just, actually, what we normally do is, if it's in slow motion, normally we also do the same thing. When we have enough to go into a warehouse, we ship them per batch. But the problem is it takes so long to generate enough for the batch to go to a warehouse location that things get pushed behind. So it is what it is. So apologize about that. No, Cole, I did not see your GSB order. No, I don't see things like that. Roxanne, we're going to get the pricing on the Ami TF a little bit later on. All right, Chocks, over to you, number 7.
No, I don't really need to talk about that one.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, I just want to say, so there is a couple of weeks in review that I need to go through. The first one is, though, before I get into what I've been doing, Chocks, why don't you tell us what you've been doing?
What? These couple of weeks?
Yeah.
What else?
Party, 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 obviously,
Yeah.
because I haven't been here.
Just making sure everything's running smoothly and to get this validation and Ami launch ready and upcoming stuff ready. Lots of stuff to look forward to, guys.
That's great. So, bearing that in mind, then, Chocks.
And upcoming stuff ready.
Hold on.
Lots of stuff to.
There seems to be an echo
lots of
here.
stuff.
Let me see. Why is there an echo?
Why? Something was playing in the background.
Let me just check if there is.
type all that out again.
What? Okay.
Yeah, God.
Okay. The echo should have gone now. Let me just make sure. All right, the echo is gone. Okay, so CHOCKS has been busy working with the team. And what he's been doing is working on this. Short video, we'll see you on the other side. To turn it off here. Boom! Ami LSB. This is a bit of an Okami Dark Souls kind of theme thing going over here. So the boys did a fantastic video of the unboxing of the Ami LSB. I think we did this once before with the King of Red Lions.
King Red Lions, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys liked it before. We did one for that. It's been a little bit, how do I say, it's a little bit, when you have a bit of downtime, we'll do it when we can. But let us know, did you like that? Did you enjoy that kind of video? Kimberly wants to boot the snoop. Tainted Tali says more videos like that. Looks liking a little bit of that. All right, sweet. Thank you, Mana. Now, I think there was a Heather McGuan asking about authenticating the Breath of the Wild PVC link. The authentication things is really for the exclusive versions of our PVCs and the just all resins in general. So Breath of the Wild link, it does not have something to order. That's to authenticate for that. But yeah, so hopefully you guys like that. Let me know in the comments if you've got an Ami LSB on order, waiting for it, got one, etc., etc. You know, it's quite a big piece, obviously, CHOCKS. So it's you know, so something that it's not for everybody. It's quite a big piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisbeth, do you have to validate your pre-order in order to get the figure? Oh yeah, Lisbeth, if you don't care about the lower numbers, the extra signature card, you don't care about the reward points or the holographic sticker, if you don't care about any of that, reserve, done. Don't worry about it. This is going to arrive on your, arrive at your house, boom, done. That's what's going to happen. So if you don't care about the low numbers then or the signature edition, you do not need to worry whatsoever.
Well, 24 minutes to go until validation, guys. So Right, as I was saying earlier on, there will be a couple of polls in the club, so make sure you join the First Figures official club. Signature edition, signature card. So basically, tonight you will be validating for the signature edition, and normally we will post a couple of designs in the club for you guys to choose, right? Option A or option B or neither of them. So just to note, guys, these are work in progress, pending approval, so they are not final, but it's nice for you guys to interact with us and make some, be part of the packaging.
Can you not big that up? Because the next thing I'm about to say is,
What?
we're going to stop doing that.
Do what?
We're about to stop doing these.
Yeah, I know.
And you've just been bigging up the fact that, you can join in the packaging design process.
Yeah.
But the fact is, we're about to stop doing it. So you
Well,
shouldn't be bigging it up.
I need to big it up for this one.
Right.
Things
Okay.
can change, but who knows?
We are going to stop doing that because it is causing a lot of headache for the for the packaging team. Simple as that. And not enough people interact with them to make them worthwhile. If there was attracting 400 or 500 votes on it, but I look at these, I'm like, there's like 20 votes. I'm like, what is this? It's not even worth it. So therefore, we're not going to do that anymore. Is this the last one? I think Ami's going to be the last one. Is that right? Ami's the last one.
I think Ami's the last one. Yes.
Or something like that. We're going to stop doing it because they
Ami's the last one.
they do not get, they are not worth the effort that we're doing into them. So unless, of course, there is more interaction with them, etc., that would be a different conversation.
400 votes on this one, guys.
Then fine.
Then we continue.
Then fine. But if it's still like 10 here, 20 there, it's not even worth it.
Well, I'm just posting the first one right now,
Aye.
guys. The Grand Scale Bust Exclusive Edition.
So
Okay.
Cheryl, in about an hour and a half's time, we're going to start the discussion about the making of Ami. We're going to run a video of us making, talking about the documentary, all about Ami and how we went ahead to make her. And then once that's finished, we'll then go through the pricing, the timing, the good stuff. We got Christopher Dringy Boy in the house. He says, I hope you washed that t-shirt. Believe it or not, mate, I've got more than one. Because I went to E3 every day wearing my F4F top. We got Michael Wildermuth, who is like, I know him as being like uber Okami fan, like with all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. So it's so glad. I haven't seen him for ages, but when the time comes, obviously the marketing is working in a way that you can run away from F4F, but you can never leave. Because when it comes to something that when it's your product, something that's your jam, the marketing machine will catch you, which is good news, Chocks. It's very cool. God, it's been 1 minute. Only 3 people, Chocks.
It's slow. It's not even posting the image.
Oh. How are they choosing it then?
I don't know.
How are they choosing it then? Nice one, Marco. Appreciate that. Hey, I'd love to make The Witcher. Hit up CD to get us in there.
Finally, pictures posted.
Pictures posted, yeah.
Pictures posted.
All right, sweet. Delete Stefan McNally's post.
Yeah.
Delete that. No reason. Just delete it. Nice one, Michael. Well, I hope it's been good work. Good work. What's up, Robert? Nice. I know Robert's been teaching. He's now off for the summer. So he's back to watching us. Appreciate that. All right, Chocks. Where are we at? 90 minutes to go. Again, anybody up for the Artorias that doesn't know where to go, do let us know in the comments on how to validate. We will be there with you ASAP to explain. Now go check out the signature edition card poll in the group. And we'll go through that.
And talking about signature edition, there's some new signature edition stickers in the group.
Alright, yeah, if you haven't a chance to check that out, signature edition, that's what it's all about. We've got all that going on. In terms of the picture of what it looks like at Chocks. speaking of our toys again.
All right. 3 reasons why to play Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Right, because that was posted in the validation email. If you guys check your emails,
Is that the same 3 reasons that he did for Mimic?
yes, but I believe a couple more new reasons.
Oh, nice. So that's
tacked
4
on.
reasons.
Yeah, so we've
5 reasons?
we'll get rid of some of the old reasons, then
I
you add
see.
some new reasons. in there.
Nice. Nice. That's the way I like it. Skip The Witcher and straight to Keanu Reeves. That was cool. So the Microsoft presser, that was sweet. All right, Chocks.
Next one. All right, just keep an eye on the time.
All right.
All right then. Grip, guys. Grip giveaway that was started last week.
Shout out to the boys at Wired.
Yeah, thank you very much, Wired Productions, for providing the codes. This is a big one. I believe 25 codes up for grabs. Guys, do check out that blog because every single week it's a different platform. So there's PlayStation 4, followed by Xbox, followed by Switch, followed by Xbox, and then back to PS4 as well. Sorry, not Switch. Steam, PC.
Nice.
PC. So make sure that you do enter that. It's really easy. Just go to the blog, follow the instructions for a chance to win a digital code for Grip. Well, guys, do let us know, guys. Do let us know, Grip, if you want more of these giveaways. You need to enter. All right.
Speaking of giveaway,
Show the support, guys. I can't get free stuff without any support from you guys. These stuff are for you guys.
speaking of more things to give away, Chocks, there's a contest going on.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah. Guys, if you've been checking out the newsletter as well, besides the Grip giveaway, there's also the photo contest. All right, set up by our lovely admins. That is Strike a Pose. All right, so
You do not need to have an FRF piece to do this. You can just put it side by side as
Yeah.
long as you allude to what it is.
that's right.
So what's this one, Chocks?
That the real one or the fake one?
The real one or the fake one?
Where are you looking
See?
at?
Yeah, nice, okay. All right, okay, all right. One out of one. All right, here we go, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
You trying to be Okami, yeah?
How the hell am I supposed to be your kami?
That I don't know. Sorry, so Shiranui.
If I'm Shiranui, yeah, I'm like looking like this and I'm doing that and then I'm looking to the
then you're
side.
looking to the side, yeah.
Is my hand here or is my hand here?
I don't know. Maybe you're not so good at striker pose.
I'm just like super
Guys,
amazing
if
at
you're
sniper
better
throws.
if you're better at posing, do enter the photo contest.
That's like amazing.
Well, according to Nana says LCM.
Thank you. What's LCM? Don't you know?
Look, you can't marry.
Exactly. Manaki
Yeah.
Neko.
Sure.
Yeah? God,
Is
Bennett.
that the right hand?
Oh, whatever.
Is that the right hand?
What are you talking about, mate? All right, how about this one? How about this one? Oh, come on. I'm not doing this.
Sure, straight
I'm not
or
doing
that-
this. No, I'm doing this way.
Yeah, I know you're doing that way.
Yeah, so what was that?
It's that Zelda character, isn't it?
Oh, what's his name? You mean it is Zelda, right? The guy who... That's what I'm saying, it is Zelda, right?
The Legend of Link.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, my days. Come on, you do one then. It was like charades.
Oh my god, we're trying to find a good one. Help me out, guys.
Clearly, there's a lot of choice.
There's a lot of choice.
How about this one?
Oh yeah, what about that one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's his arch enemy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's that one, yeah.
yeah, there's that one. Which one are you? Are you this guy or are you this guy?
I'm that guy.
You're that guy. Yeah, so I'll be this guy then.
Where is the mirror? One last time.
Phoenix mirror, dragon mirror. Indeed. Oh my god, we've got so much to get through, Chocks. What are we even
I
doing?
know.
All right.
So guys, make sure you enter that as how many reward points? Is it like 3,000 reward points, I believe.
Yeah, it's like tons of reward points.
tons
Get
of
it in
reward
there.
points.
You
guys,
do not need to have
you guys are
the
asking
figure,
for
right?
reward points all the time, right? Make sure you enter the photo contest.
Right. So, do check it out. Jeremy Beerson, go and check it out. Have we done like a post on it ourselves?
Ourselves.
I mean, yeah, I think I have.
I think
Also,
you
like-
have. I think maybe I haven't.
All right,
It's,
what
it's
is
definitely
Spirit-
in the newsletter every single time.
Is it?
Yeah, every single week. Every single week.
Is that why Jeremy's inundated by all the entries? Robert, Yakuza is looking next level. Like, sometimes you just look at a concept and you just have new vision after 3 years or 4 years, whenever we did that one. And we went, this is just rubbish. And then completely just go, you know what? We're going to redo this and make it 10 times better. Well, we did that. Instead of the 10 times better, we went 20 times. No. Let's just try that again. 30 times better than the previous concept. It looks so much better, so much cooler, and I'm super pumped to get that in front of you guys. You should make our own display cases. Well, you know, that's something that we've talked about before, isn't it, Chocks? Right. So, just to say that we have 90 plus concurrent projects, right? 50% has not been announced. That's a lot of stuff right there, Chock. So, I could be telling you about this one. Yeah, or I could be telling you about this one, right? Or I could be telling you about this one. Or I could tell you about this one. Or I could be telling you about the one with 4 legs that's going like that. Yeah. Be telling you about the one that's got wings that's going like that, and then there's that one, and there's this one.
The one that's the round one.
Oh right, yeah, that one. Well, with that on the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just the round one. Yep.
Indeedy. So, looking forward to all of that. The Las Vegas Expo. First of all, I just want to say shout out to Bong Lei. He was really. So he's based out in Las Vegas, and what had happened was we had to send some stuff to Nintendo well in advance to Seattle HQ for them to then gather it all together and then take it all down to Las Vegas to then do the booth. And I needed to give it to them about a month before the Las Vegas show, but we didn't have time to do that because what we had wasn't ready in time. We just missed the cutoff. So I was thinking, oh my god, and one of these was Mario and Yoshi. I was like, please don't be the DE version, but when they just wanted to have the standard Mario and Yoshi, I was thinking I was going to have to like pick it up. Actually, I didn't think I was going to do that. I thought I was just going to send it to my hotel. But whenever you send things to hotels, you're always worried, is it going to arrive? Is it going to disappear? I'm always worried about that. But Bong is based out in Las Vegas. He was very kind to allow me to actually send Mario and Yoshi, and I also sent actually the MPVC directly to his house, and he held it for me for a couple of weeks. So when I did get there, I could just pick it up and then take it to the thing. What's that?
Well done, Bang. I'm assuming he's on the street.
Right. Yeah. So.
Well done, Bang.
What was that all about?
Because he knows that I'm probably paranoid about it.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so I'm probably giving him a hard time. Just make sure that's packed tight and nicely, and it's like it was trying to, calm me down.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
On the way back, or do you mean?
Oh no, on the way there.
Oh, the way there, yeah.
On the way there and on the way back.
Okay, cool. So then the
Yeah.
So
Bang received it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he checked it, and that was all great. So that was wonderful. Hi, Bong. And then
Posted it in the club as well.
he posted it. Yeah, that was all cool. Then what was funny is the Rostello brothers, right, our lovely admins as well, came over to Vegas at the same time. And on the day of the setup, I was gonna go. Bong was bringing over the Mario and Yoshi, and we went into the convention to actually put it on Nintendo's booth. And it was quite funny because I'd seen Ryan Rostello, no, not Ryan, it was Brendan, both of them the day before, but then on the day of the actual setup, only Ryan could make it.
Right.
And what had happened was they brought over this heavy Mario and Yoshi, obviously came over, etc., etc. And when we got to the entrance of the convention, we couldn't actually go in because you're not an exhibitor. We're just attendees. But of course, we needed to go in to actually
Set up.
or at least help set it up. So we had to give the big N a bit of a yeah. Like, we want to help us in, etc., etc. So someone came out and then like handed and was just chatting, and then they just casually just gave us a piece of paper, went up to the place where you get your badges, and casually just said, John was just talking, and I got handed a form, and I just put in our names. And when I gave it to the lady behind the desk, they printed out these badges which said exhibitors and Nintendo. We were just looked at each other and was like, oh yes, amazing, right? Of course, Brendan never turned up, and we remind him every time that we can that he never got them, because everybody else has your name on it. Nintendo exhibitor. That is awesome.
And obviously, I'm assuming everyone kept it, or they have to hand it back.
No, we just. Well, I mean, yeah, I think Bung's got his, and certainly on the, Ryan.
A nice
Ryan's got
memento.
his. Yeah, it's really a nice one, right? So that was really cool. So again, thank you very much to actually all the boys. They all helped with the setup and the takedown as well. And of course, on the last day though, of course, Brendan had to stay outside because he didn't have a badge. He could have, but he didn't.
Oh yeah, but it came back broken. I'm not saying this is you guys or the shipping guy, but it came back broken.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing. We'll talk about that later. So, yeah, that was really cool. What else?
7 minutes to go, guys. Validation.
All right.
Make sure you refresh your website because it will time out. So just make sure that you refresh, that you still remain logged in.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a very good point. So the actual show itself, I've never been so back to back in the meetings before.
Oh, you're done with Vegas?
No, I'm talking about the meetings.
Oh, okay, yeah.
the main bulk of it, Chocks.
Okay. All right, guys, just let me quickly jump in there before you start talking about Vegas. I'm going to do the last poll for the signature card, right? This one is for the life-size bus exclusive edition, okay? This may be the very last signature poll ever in F4F history. I'm hyping that one up, okay? So this could be the very last one. So make sure the last one gets 400 votes on this one.
Indeed. Boom.
Right, over to you.
All right, cool. So, the actual show itself, I've never had so many back-to-back meetings before. Usually, it's a lot less busy, and what I was finding was that I was getting back really late, having lots of meetings and having dinners that I would, when I got back to the hotel room, I would then have to prepare for the next set of meetings the following day, and that involved downloading all the images, uploading them all onto my tab just to prepare for the presentations, all that sort of stuff. And coupled with jet lag, coupled with all the different sort of things, it really meant that this year I couldn't do my daily updates, which I've done for the last 2 years. Is that 3 years? So 2016, 2017, yeah, I've done it for the last 3 years. This is my 4th Vegas. Is that right? Yeah, 2016. Sure? Yeah, because you came over in 2016. Yeah, and that's when I went to Vegas. You came in May, I went in June. So June 16, June 17, 18. This is 19. It's the 4th one.
You posed 3 times?
I would have thought so. First year, we saved 0. Now we're working on him. 3 years later.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. Always on time, on F4F time. So when I actually went, I found it really tired to actually do. Really tired to do anything like that. So I didn't actually because I just thought about it. There's so much to write about as well. If you were to actually go through each one, it would have been really difficult. So it was it was a really successful show. Bar one. But hey, always like to. It's always nice to be kept humble.
Hey Blake, the reservation for Ami will start after the stream, but in about an hour's time we will start showing everything about the product. Okay, so just stick around.
Nice. But some of the highlights, let me see. I'm not sure how I should go about explaining what happened. Is it what happens at Vegas season?
Your highlight or everyone else's highlight?
Right. Okay. Of course, there were some pieces. We'll talk about that after the validation, actually. A little bit more about that. But in terms of the actual meetings, obviously a lot of it was just going over meeting licensors that we were already obviously talking to, and obviously have a relationship with, and just sort of going through what we've been doing, what's coming up.
There are some old partners and there's also new partners.
That's right. There was a lot more energy from our point of view in terms of the desire to do more and the ability to do more. And I'm not really wanting to talk about that just yet. We're talking more about that a little bit later on because I want to see it. But it's already clear to me.
Would you say, are we more known this year than last year?
I think we're pretty famous.
3 minutes to go to validation, guys.
White and black. You see that one, yeah? So Angel. I'm the angel, you're the devil, mate.
Yeah. What is it? What's that game with the angels?
Angel and devil? Overlord?
No, the Nintendo game.
What? Kid Icarus?
Yeah.
Boom.
I'm the dark one.
You're Dark Pit.
Yeah. Dark Pit, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's a good point. When are we doing all of those? Red Bubble, forgot about that. What a time to ask us, JT, 2 minutes before. Right, back on point. Artorias LSB GSB, has everybody got the information that they need? Has everyone found the refresh button? Now's the time to ask. Now is the time to ask.
Now's the time to ask. Let's get this validation started, and then we'll get straight back to Vegas.
Michelle was still very, very much small potatoes. The smallest of the small. The smallest of the small. We are 1 minute and 40
Tiny
seconds to go.
spuds.
Tiny spuds.
Great for spud guns.
Do you ever use
Do you
those?
guys even know what a spud is? A spud gun. Pew pew. You poke it in the little potato and go pew.
So how is that coming out? It's just what, a spring? A spring mechanism?
Yeah.
It's just a spring mechanism,
it just shoves the metal thing and just.
So yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
a spring mechanism, yeah?
Yeah, it's not one of those cap guns.
Right.
Those were fun.
Alright, everyone's
Let's
got
get it.
this.
1 minute to go, guys. 1 minute.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate that.
Alright, let me just let IT. No.
Alright, sub 1 minute. Sub 1 minute. Cannon potatoes? Potato cannons? Jesus.
Guys.
Thanks, Courtney.
Alright, 30 seconds to go. Guys, once you have your validation time, make sure you post that into the comments of the stream. And also...
Lorenzo, make sure you've done your checklist. Now, there's going to be a 30-second delay once we go. So don't expect it to click on for about... Because Lorenzo's got to turn this on, turn that on. It's going to take about 30 seconds or so. Lorenzo, make sure you do your checklist. Chocks, count it down with me. 10,
Alright.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go. Good luck, guys. As soon as you get it, do post us it in the comments below. But also, don't forget, we have VC, our VQ, our validation queen. She will... she's done a post on Facebook, and you post it in there.
I've also pinned it in the comment section. So that is the link to Victoria's validation time posts. So make sure you post your times in the comments so we can look at it as well. And then for you guys, for your own reference, you can also post that into the thread that Victoria made.
All right, guys. Remember, there is a 30-second or so delay. Good luck on that thing. Go, 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 go.
Lowest numbers.
All new numbers.
All new numbers. So if you pre-ordered a life-size bus.
Boom! Rob Eubanks, 39.5. 42 for JT. Who else we got there? Brenton Friedley in the house. 43.8 for Valtier. Have we got some more? We got 42.7, I killed a dead guy. 42.5, someone else on Twitch.
Twitch!
Remy Sonic, 45.
Twitch!
40.9
Alright, let's see what IT
for Dante.
says.
Sean Reynolds has got 43.6. Marcus has got 39.6. Nande. 44 for McNally. Jason Iron Man has got himself a 39. That's a low one right there, 39. We're at 39.1 for the LSB for Warp Dick. 40 on the dot for Jarko. Soy King, 41.9. Rene with a 40.3. 49 for the GSB for Sean. Alex has got a 49. A 40.5 for Patrick Munzberg. 44 for Abdul. 40.6 for the LSB for Michael Kane Prius. Sweet. 39.1 for Andrew Wells. Very nice, very nice. What's a diamond badge? You got yourself a top fan. Nice one, Cole. No, JT, they are separate. Separate. Does he know he's supposed to do both of them? LSB and GSB, yeah. Correct, they're separate. Have they pulled them together? That's not right if he's done that. Mario SH, it means that we look at the number and based on when you hit your validation thing, that's what is going to be assigned for your number. Okay, hold on 1 second. Right, so let's update this. One second, guys. I'm glad to see everything go so smoothly when I was away. What am I trying to get? Countdown text. 1 second. Excuse me. Oops. Not text. It's gonna say. Amaterasu PVC reservation details in. What? Why is that gone wrong? Why is that changed?
What?
That's correct. Okay, so bit of a snafu here. The memo wasn't given out that the GSB and the LSB are separate numbers. Right now, RT have pulled them together, so I don't have that information for you, unfortunately. So I can't give you the breakdown of the first, the 50, the 100, etc., etc. I can't give you that breakdown until later. So sorry about that, guys. So I can't tell you if you're going to be in it to win it. Apologize about that. That is not the case. So it's not bueno, but it is what it is. We will get back to you guys on that later on. So in the meantime, though, do still post in Victoria's thread.
Yeah,
you guys can sort of see yourselves whereabouts you might be. You won't really know what the numbers are, but yeah. All right, cool. So sorry about that. But yeah, all right, Chocks, let's carry on with the rest of the stream. That's Artorias done.
Okay, so Amaterasu PVC reservation details start. Okay, details starts in around, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to talk all about the PVC in 37 minutes. How on earth are we going to like fit in Vegas and Q&A and
Yes. and all that stuff and all that posts,
and all of that? Plus, Chocks, I've also I've got these videos to deal with as well.
Yeah, and the Q&A.
What? Oh my god!
I've got 95 comments already in the Q&A thread.
That's future Alex's problem. In the meantime, though, why don't we check this out?
What is up, guys? This is Alex from First Figures checking out the Bowser production. Final production. This is the exclusive version. And I'm here to check the first, 20-30 pieces. That if I'm cool with these, that they will start to go as per this quality to start packing up the pieces. This is the first time that we've shown the Bowser exclusive. Last time I just showed you the standard version. And now you can see what we had before was from this angle, if you recall, that this piece would come out straight up and cover his face. And we angled it down. And you can see that's so much better that it doesn't cover his face. I'm so happy that we're finally at this stage. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on your big boy Bowser. If you're a Super Mario fan, there's not so much merchandise for Bowser, which I think is a shame. Now what you're seeing over this side, of course, is the animated mode. You can see the way that the fire comes in and then starts going around and creating this kind of moving effect of the fire, which I think looks really, really cool. Apologize for the noise, it's a bit noisy around here. Hope you can hear me alright. Then coming to this side, we have the always on mode. How cool does that look, guys? Looking great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the lights so we can have a look at these pieces. We're going to look at these pieces a little bit more closely. 我们开一下灯吧，开一下灯，灯都开一下吧。Okay, let's randomly have a look at this one. 先把这个拿下来吧，把这个拿下来。Okay. So we have here, this has got some serious weight to it. That's a good few kilograms right there, easily. That's a good workout, honestly, you picking that up. It's got some nice gloss to it, which really is offset from the contrast of the matte of the face itself. Now, this, as the connection point now, is there for the flame. We have a tongue that you can just then, I've gone the wrong way. 这是翻过来的吗？应该是这个方向的。哎，是翻过来的。翻过来。I made it. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Now there's a, and that's how it looks if it's the
if it's the if the mouth is covered by the tongue, so you don't see that hole. And that's how you would switch out your piece. Now I know the exclusive version, it comes out a little bit more, so depending on you as a collector, depending on where you're putting it, you have the choice to have it in or out. But yeah, I mean, look at the details on this bad boy. Some nice texture. Clean connection. Perfect difference between the green and the red into the whites. He's got a lot of spikes here that we individually put on. Individually put these on. Clean bands over here going onto the white, to the yellow of the skin. Looking great. Lovely textures come through in the production. Clean around the edge. Nice along here. Great textures still being maintained there. Details in the sculpt. I'm always looking for the clean lines, That's really important, especially on a more cartoony character like this. You're not using lots of effects such as sort of paint over effects, something where you can sort of blur the edges between different colors. These are different colors, so we must absolutely be completely, perfectly separated. Otherwise, it's going to be super obvious if the silver of his band with his bracelet comes over to the skin of the yellow. It becomes really obvious. So that's something that we have to really make sure that it's perfectly done. So those are the sort of things I'm looking for when I'm inspecting these pieces. Looking at the way that they're connected as well. As you know, this is in so many different pieces, like the arm is one piece, the head's a different piece, the hair, all the spikes, the shell. All of these things mean that you have to make sure that after it's been assembled, that they actually still maintain that there's like no huge and obvious gaps. That's something that I always check for. So it's always something that is important to be looking for. And again, it's the different finishes, a little bit of gloss on the fingernail, a little bit more matte on the skin. Go back to the feet, you can see a little bit more glossy there compared to the feet, the yellow of the feet. Oh man, guys, I'm so pumped. So pumped that we're finally at that stage where we can do that. Got some intensity looking into you. You see the eyes are facing forwards. Sometimes the mistake is, especially when the angle of the eyes are going backwards, sort of angle like that and angle like that people just assume that if you put the pupil into the middle on both sides, that would obviously make sense that he's looking forward. But that's not the case when you have very angled eyes like that, and it would make it actually look like he was looking this way for this eye and looking this way for that eye, and that would be a huge mistake. So those are the sort of things that we have to make sure that we do when we do the prototype, but also factories themselves will sometimes make that mistake by going, oh right, it's in the middle and therefore it must be looking forward. That is not always the case. It really depends on the eyeball shape, absolutely all the time. One more look before we wrap this up. It's another random piece. Again, you're always look for those clean lines with me, guys. Make sure you see those clean lines with me. What a beast. Bowser is such a beast. Alright guys, this looks like it's getting the thumbs up. I'll still do a little bit more checking and examining after this video, just to really deep dive, look into it a little bit more. The base itself, obviously very, very clean. Base itself very, very clean. all of these separated, so we've got the clean lines between this and that, the greys of the rock. So you have the tires of Bowser's Castle with this effect going around there. Simple yet effective overall. So pumped. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it here. Let me know in the comments if you're a dunner, if you got it on waitlist, you got the regular or the exclusive. If you're looking forward to him to come and join your collection, let me know in the comments below. You know the next one's going to be the dreaded drop test. I've been worried about this for quite a few years now, knowing that when we're making this bad boy, it's finally arrived and I don't feel like I'm prepared at all, but we shall see. Alright guys, FRF is love and FRF is life, and I'll see you on the next one. The problem with this, of course, is we never know when the film is going to stop.
Maybe you have to do a shaky cam.
Oh yeah, that's like
it's going.
Boom! That is from the trip I did before I went to Las Vegas.
Ah, because everyone was asking, where's that drop test?
Yeah, that drop test, I got the footage of that will run a little bit later on.
Ah, cool.
But that was done before I went to Vegas, and this is the first stream since then. Obviously, we had the stream last time where I showed on Steam, but again, that would have been the week beforehand, so it's always a week afterwards from when it was gone. So what do you guys think of that? Hopefully you guys like what you saw with regards to Bowser. He's a big boy Bowser. Honestly, Chocks, it's such an honor to be able to work on so many great, amazing properties like this. So honored for it to happen.
Childhood memories.
Childhood memories, and not even childhood memories. You've got people who, we've got it's amazing that we can still be playing that version of Bowser's there already, etc., etc. Just generally, just such an honor, Alexandros, do not worry, Ami is gonna be up in about an hour and a half. We're gonna be going through all the details in 27 minutes.
Yep.
I think there's someone called Samantha. What's going on, Mr. Jose? How you doing? So. By the way, did you see in the FRF Doggo post? Or the pets post, there was Cody the cat.
Yes.
I tagged you in on that. Did you see that? How do you know all this sort of stuff?
Because I checked my notifications.
Never look at them.
And then I replied.
Did you?
Yeah. What did I reply?
What, I want to punch it again in the face?
It was fluffy and very punchable.
Right. Wonderful. Yeah. So
Jose
nice.
did came back and reply back to you.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said I had a really close bond with Cody, but he was never the same after you left. Yeah.
Indeed.
We're that tight.
Tight. So, Bowser is in production, of course, as you've seen. I'll do the dreaded drop test a little bit later on. And what was I even saying? Oh no, Bowser. Samantha was saying that she hasn't got a reset or something. Don't worry, it will be sorted. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Samantha Lewis? Is that
yeah.
Right? Accounts,
good now.
Accounts
okay, great.
are good now, just with the waiting game.
But the beauty,
super excited.
The beauty of the way that we do things now is I feel quite vindicated about this. One of the things that we do, Chocks, is when we do a pre-order, you don't have to, like a lot of the times, website crash, etc., when you can only get a certain number of pieces at a certain moment in time, and people rush to get on it, and then people get really stressed. Oh, I'm not, it's the wrong time zone, I'm at work, and then they miss out, there's disappointment.
Yeah.
We have a really open system that for a whole week, casual, just come back, place your reservation anytime you want, come back and validate, then it's open for another couple of weeks, 4 weeks afterwards, etc., unless it hits a certain amount, then it keeps open, etc. So it's really chill, really relaxed, come on in, everyone's welcome, etc. Then, so when Samantha's now stressing, oh, my account wasn't working, and I'm worried before the launch is going to be.
That would have made a difference back in the day.
Right.
Back in the day. Yeah, we had to create, you have to stumble for your credit card numbers, make sure that your account's working, you haven't timed out, etc. Whilst fighting with everyone else to try and get that low number.
When that happened with Majora's Mask, fool me once. Indeed. Yes. Never going to happen again.
Hello, Bowser.
Indeedy.
Yeah. So, yes, so make sure that, enjoy the documentary, the hype, the pictures, the pricing, the shipping. Take your time. Take your time. Think of it as a Kickstarter. Maybe you'll have a nice rush at the front, at the beginning, and then take your time to digest, go through the options,
Sure.
and then come back towards the validation, because validation is the important day to get the extra goodies, the free goodies,
Absolutely.
the reward points
The
as
good
well.
stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff.
All right, so just going on in terms of the Vegas thing. Now, there's stuff that happened, obviously, that actually was posted in the club itself, rather than, just sort of stuff that was already sort of out there. And of course, that was the debut of 2 PVCs. Now, PVCs for us, Chocks, is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Ami's part of this push. It started, of course, with Link, Breath of the Wild Link. It started with that, moving on into Crash. Then Artorias SD, Solaire SD, then into Spyro, then into...
It's wings.
the hell? It's like 1 foot and one on the,
on
thing.
the diamond.
Yeah. So, and then into, obviously, Snake, SD, and now we're coming into...
Solaire SD.
Yeah, I said Solaire SD.
This is Snake SD.
No,
into,
Snake...
Into when? When was what?
Excuse me, I was absolutely correct in saying it was Artorias SD into Solaire SD into Spyro TF into Snake SD.
Did he say that, guys?
1-1, surely I have vindication there, right? And then from Spyro into Snake SD, and now Ami is going to continue that. We're here talking about Ami PVC today, and of course the debut of some future pieces. That is, of course, boom. We showed Zelda, and we showed Link, and we showed Mario. So Zelda and Mario are from the Breath of the Wild. Now, of course, the Zelda piece, no one's seen that before. Everyone's seen the Link before, but there is an exclusive version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why that sort of came about was more about to do with the thickness of the bases in order to accommodate the LED function. And I believe that we showed the LED function of Zelda at the show on Nintendo's booth. It has the light up feature of the tablet and the actual base itself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a thickness to it, and we've learned this problem before. We learnt it before with, if you've been following us stuff, you'll really notice it. The Artorias SD regular is this thick for the base, and the exclusive version is this thick. And the reason is we've implemented some batteries. Now, the batteries for the Artorias were button batteries, so the base wasn't as thick as it could have been, but we found that the batteries were really weak for Artorias, so we learned from that. And for Solaire, we made it to be rechargeable batteries. I think it's 18500. I know owe you 2 of them, don't I, Bong? So the thickness of the base is like this now. Now, the problem is, with Zelda, of course, we need to make sure that the base is like that as well in order to put the battery in it.
Yep, the new battery.
Right, and it made sense that we do a Link to match the Zelda exclusive, and also do a Zelda standard version, which has a thinner base to match the standard Links that are out there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was something that sort of really made sense for us to have them all consistently all the same size. For people that want to get the Zelda exclusive, you have the option to get the Link exclusive. If it's not really something that you don't, obviously you can still have your standard Link next to it.
Yeah.
So we debuted those 2 pieces, really super pumped for that. More details to come on that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also showed something that, I think people kind of expected Zelda to be done, especially because it was leaked by one of our distributors. Heads rolled.
Yeah, but it won't go there.
We won't go there.
But it's nice to... guys, we've always mentioned... we understand that, guys, you've always wanted to ask about, can we have Zelda from that series, Zelda from the past, etc., etc. We've always highlighted that, we really want to focus on the Breath of the Wild side of things. And this is kind of like answering what we've been saying all along. And here we are today, debuting Zelda, so the continuation of that.
Yeah.
So finally, it's looking great. We've been working behind the scenes for a while on Zelda. We've heard the feedback that you've guys given us, at the Vegas. We've seen some of the comments.
We're not making any changes.
But we're not making any changes. I know we've seen the comments, but maybe some paint tweaks and that's about
Sure.
it.
Mhm.
But it's nice that those that previously picked up the standard edition can now have the same standard
Zelda as well. Yeah.
offer.
Yeah.
The same,
So nice
same
thin base.
height.
They all look great.
Yeah, and for those guys that are checking out if you guys really like the exclusive lights, obviously the exclusive version will be available on our website
Yeah. Later on.
Yeah.
And if you want to get a link to match that, you can get that as well, or you don't have to. Whatever you want to do. So
Yeah.
you have those options. So that's the Zelda side of things, and it's good to finally show something for the year of Zelda.
The year hasn't ended yet.
I know it's the first half of the year. We've got something Zelda out there, right? So that's cool. And then the next one is the Luigi's Mansion, which came out of nowhere, right?
Poof.
Just like that,
Yeah.
right? And we were
Bam, like that.
just like that. We were super pumped to be able to get a hold of that.
Guys, we still love to do a standard Luigi if you guys are up for that. Evergreen Luigi.
Absolutely. So this Luigi's Mansion version, it was really difficult to get it done in time, but we got there. I mean, there's a lot of late nights for that. I was working on all of that.
That looks really good.
It looks really, really good. And we're pushing hard on that. More details will come on that later on. Let me know if you didn't see them or you did see them, what you thought of both of these. The Link, the Zelda, the Luigi's Mansion. Hopefully one of those is for you if you're interested in those, one or more of those for you. And it just goes back to show you just how important PVC Nation is for us. We're not, of course, forgetting about resin. That's our roots, that's our bread and butter. But it's really important that we have these PVC lines that really allows for us to go and just get a little bit more known, because it's a lot more accessible, of course, than the resins. I mean, it's really, really clear. And I want to see this kind of triangle of products where we have the resins at the top, and then we have the PVCs in the middle, and then we're working on a bunch of stuff underneath that, basically creating a triangle of products just to sort of help for us to get our name just a little bit, so we can grow up from being just super teeny tiny potatoes, just the normal tiny potatoes, right? So
Yeah, so I mean, we enjoyed it over here as well. I mean, we've been keeping a close eye on what's been going on at Vegas show as well. It's just perfect timing that things are moving into place. Massive congrats to Nintendo with the upcoming Luigi Mansion free game. That looks
absolutely
awesome, right?
It looks amazing.
Looks amazing. So having that, we're looking forward to that launch when the time comes, and just the Breath of the Wild Link 2. Yeah, with the trailer and all that, looks more dark, looks more edgy.
Yeah.
This time round.
That's
and
great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Zelda with the short hair, looking nice.
Indeed. So hopefully that's for one of you guys. In terms of, hopefully some of those are for you guys. In terms of more details, we'll do that as we get closer and closer. All right, Chocks. Just because we're running out of time, why don't we just quickly go through the TTs?
All right, TTs.
Oh,
That's quite further down there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. The Temptations. I think whilst you were away, we still kept on going with the TTs.
Yeah.
All right, the Temptation Thursdays, guys. That is basically if we had this X license, this product, if we launch it the next day, would you pre-order? All right, so it's kind of like it's a good way for us to gauge whether these licenses are what you want.
And I can tell you for sure that because of this, it's influenced who I've been having meetings with in Vegas. So you guys have an absolute sway in this.
Yes. So let's go back back 4 weeks ago. TT 153. That was Psychonauts. That currently stands at 260 votes. 52 yeses, 208 nos. All right, keep rallying for that if you're a Psychonauts fan. The one after that, TT 154 anime. That is Slayers. A lot of people have been asking for that on Sunday Funday. Currently at 277 votes. 91 says yes, 186 no. So hopefully, with more and more anime stuff later on, we'll have some more anime fans coming in to vote for that. All right. A recent release, that is a TT 155. That is Mortal Kombat 11. I know you guys like your Mortal Kombat classics, but this is Mortal Kombat 11, Shao Kahn. There are some Shao Kahn fans out there, but I know a lot of people are asking for Sub-Zero and Scorpion and all the, same stuff out there. But anyways, 364 votes, 100 says yes, 264 says no. So where are the MK fans? Look at this guy's face. This current week is, Ape Escape. Again, another Sunday Funday one. 214 votes in total, 49 says yes, 165 says no. For next week's TT,
we have...
that is Zoids. Alright guys, we're going to play something for you just to give you guys a reminder of what is Zoids.
Yes,
and that is an anime. Okay?
Alright, so let's show you what that is. It's just a 1-minute video. So all the kids will be watching that. Okay, so if you are all up for some Zoids and you want that to be something that we focus on to get that license, if you're into mechanical beasts, let us know in the comments. Next week it will be Zoids' TT. Let us know if that's going to be something that you're going to be smashing yes or no for. Alright, Chocks, we have some winners.
Alright guys, hashtag winners last week. Last time, the last episode.
Alright.
Yeah, TT, 121.
Yeah.
Right, the hashtag winners.
Yes.
And that is hashtag FRF Lower Bridge. I can't remember why it was called Lower Bridge.
Flower Bridge. You
Flower
remember
Bridge.
that? How do you say Flower Bridge in
Oh,
Chinese?
right, Flower Bridge.
In Cantonese.
Yes. Alright, so we had 3 winners to announce. Each of those will have 500 reward points sent to you.
Alright, we have 3 lucky winners. Here are the initials. We have VMEDLK. Let us know if you got 2 of those. 2 of those and you're in it for a chance to win 500 reward points. Here we go, one more time. VDLEKM. Just, you need 2 of those. Are you in to win it? Let me know in the comments. VMELDK. So, we'll go winner number 1. I think I've seen on the stream, so congrats if you're still here. And that is Valtier Lausberg, winner number 1. Congrats. Winner number 2, MAD in the house. Congrats on CGR releasing today. I know you've been working hard on that, so congrats on that. You are winner number 2. And last but not least, someone I also know, I'm not sure if it's on the stream or not, Elaine Kennedy, congrats. 3 lucky winners. One more time, Valtier Lausberg, MAD, that's Marc-Andre Duchamp, and Elaine Kennedy. Congratulations. Congratulations. Alright, Chocks, we are 10 minutes before we start going through all of the good stuff. I believe...
Let's do
this week's hashtag,
hashtag, yes.
This week's hashtag, of course, can only be hashtag FRFAMI for a chance to win 500 reward points chosen at random. 5 lucky winners. So, one more time. Hashtag FRFAMI for a chance to win 500 reward points chosen at random. That is 5 people so far. Pop that in the comments right now, and you will get a chance to win that. Let's click on that. No, it's on the right-hand side.
Oh, it's underneath.
Alright. Oh, yeah.
Just take
Congrats, guys, to that. Unpin comment, or did you not do that?
Let's just pin it. Hello?
Okay, there you go, yeah. Cool.
Right, this week's hashtag is F4F. Hashtag F4FAMI.
Alright, sweet. Let's get that in there. Hashtag FRFAMI for a chance to win 500 reward points. As you guys are typing that out, we are going to show you. Now, I just want to say, watch out for your ears. This factory was super loud. They had like this super crazy, like, fan thing.
They probably did it on purpose because you're recording.
Perhaps. Perhaps. But this is the one that we've all been waiting for. It's the Bowser dreaded drop test. Let's do these. That didn't move. Let's try that again. Why didn't that work?
broke it.
Try that again. Okay.
Bowser Dreaded Drop Test. Let's do this. My whole life has come to this very moment. My whole life has come to this. The Bowser Dreaded Drop Test. Let's do this. Okay then. One more. Yeah. Woo. Now, that is just box number 1. We gotta do it 2 times. Box number 2. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Who the man? I'm the man who makes the ladies blush with my DDT skills. Let's open this. Let's do this. Thank you, Rachel. All right, we have them over here. Let's open this bad boy up. We still have the FRF logo on there. I wrote that beforehand. Oh, I'm knackered. Oh, the Chen Yang man. Okay. Oh, gosh. I am tired. Now this bad boy is double boxed. We've got the foam protections over there. Oh my god, I'm so tired. These are just some generic boxes. It's not the color boxes on the inside. Oh my god, so tired. Look at that, the skills. He's got the skills that make the ladies blush when it comes to taking away that wrapping paper. Alright, got the base. Okay, we got the fire over there. There you go, guys. That's how you open it. Don't do the cut around. It's my pet peeve. It's beautiful. Remember, this side up. This side up. The beast. The beast. Let's free him from his polyfoam prison. Bring him in there. You 没有把那个电池放在里面吗？电池先放好了吗 ？Okay, apparently we got the battery in there. Boom! 再来一次啊 Woo! Done! Bowser, you bloody beautiful beast! You passed the dreaded drop test. What a champion! What a bloody champion! Alright guys, dreaded drop test, Bowser has passed. FRF is love, and FRF is absolutely life. See you on the next one.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Check out these guns, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Bowser DDT smashed it.
Sweet. Well, Bowser himself, he actually passed the dreaded drop test very nicely.
Yeah.
Not 1 but 2 boxes. So I kind of cheated because, you know, if that was 2 in 1 box, I would be like dead on arrival. That would have been absolutely painful as hell. So, yeah, Bowser dreaded drop test, Sharks. Done and dusted. What did you guys think of that? Did you guys like what you saw? Yeah, no, Bowser's in one piece. You're not messing about here. If you had it in separate picks, it'd be even bigger boxes, and we wanted to avoid that at all costs. So, He's in one piece. Fortunately, he doesn't have. He's quite chunky, so it's not like a lot of small parts. So he's quite. He passed the drop test, so that's pretty good. But fellow, I think I kind of did live for my arms, my legs, my back, my legs. I can't. What? I'm not even sure. Yeah. So Adam James says I cheated. As I said, if it was all together in one, I would have. Because that base is heavy as well, isn't it, Chocks?
Yeah,
the
it
whole
is heavy.
thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
The whole thing's heavy.
Yeah. Should have lifted both at the same time. I feel like Desi Moreno. Can anyone help translate? Nana say talked about left the tongue in a box. You were asking, where's the tongue? Where's the tongue? Absolutely. Did you mind the time? Oh, VC. We made a mistake with the LSB and the GSB. We pulled the numbers together, which was incorrect.
Hopefully we can get that fixed soon.
No, yeah, sure. Indeed. So we don't have that. If you don't validate, you won't get a number. No, Bruno, you will still get a number, but you won't get a low number. You'll get a lower number. So everyone who validates will go ahead of someone who doesn't validate. They'll get put at the end of the queue. Thanks, Cecile. How heavy is the complete Bowser? Heavy.
Wow.
Heavy. If I get the Ami statue, do I have to validate it? If you get the Ami statue, you mean the PVC that's coming up now? You don't have to validate. If you validate, you get a lower number, assuming you do it at the... Yeah, you get a lower number and you get a signature edition. And the signature edition will give you lots of other stuff. What does it give you?
Signature edition?
That's the one, yeah. It gives you an extra card.
Yeah.
It gives you, which is signed, reward points, and a sticker. Anything else?
Guys, if you about the Bowser weight, if once we post the Bowser drop test video again, just pause it at that right moment. You'll be able to see the packaging. The shipper box on the side of the shipper box will tell you the weights and dimensions.
Yeah, I know, right? Jennifer, send us any caffeine you want. We're up for that. 22 kgs. But I think, is that just Bowser himself?
That's just the Bowser weight.
That's not including the packaging.
That does not include the styrofoam, the inner shipper box, and the outer shipper box.
Nice one. Congrats, Alexandra.
30 seconds to go.
Alrighty.
Okami time.
Miguel, how you doing, mate? It's been a while. So, what was I going to say? It's been a while simply because I haven't opened the chat in Skype, which has like 99 plus notifications, especially you guys chatting with each other.
Yes. Yes.
I am... What's the word? What am I going to do? Yeah, this is the first Q&A with Chocks and A. It's been 122. Well, it's been 122 of them. Is the website going mental because it's counted down?
People think it's the pre-order reservation starts.
No, not quite. So this is the first Q&A with Chocks and A where there's going to be no Q&A. Hey, it's been 122. There's a lot of things to get through, unfortunately. So we're going to be running a video now. It's about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour 15 minutes, something like that. Everything there is to know about Ami, the Ami TF, the Ami PVC, to go through all the information on that, why we designed it the way we did, how we're going to make sure that it doesn't fall over time, what are some of the design choices, all of that sort of stuff. We will then actually, because we've actually left the Ami in the other studio, we're going to bring that over so we can actually, once that bit's finished, we'll come and show you the physical as well. Obviously you'll see it in the video, but we'll have it in front of us as well as the beautiful exclusive packaging, all that good stuff as well. Yeah. All right, guys?
Look forward to that.
All right. So, what? No Q&A, why not? I know, Troy, you only care about the Zelda stuff. Let's just say today's all about, as you can see at the top there, Amaterasu TF PVC reservation stream, and it says over there that I got to start going through the details on that. So let me get this ready. Here it is over here. All right, guys. So we will see you on the other side. What is up, guys? This is Alex from Verso Figures.
Hey there, everyone. This is Chuckles.
Who do we have here? Okami's Amaterasu! Hey! Now, of course, this is the TF PVC version of Ami, because we've obviously made Amaterasu before in different
scales and different sizes and different mediums, etc. But this is a PVC, the first time we've ever done one in the TF version, which is true form. So really excited to finally be able to show you about that. Now, of course, stick around. This is a making of documentary, so it's explaining some of the design choices, some of the reasons why we decided to make her the way that she is like this, the pose, etc., some of the materials, all that sort of consideration, and we go through all of that right here, Chocks.
Exactly. So again, this is the making of documentary of Okami Amaterasu PVC. Every time we do a launch, we'll always do one of these documentaries, and if you want to be part of the documentary, make sure you join our First of Figures official collectibles club on Facebook. In there, every time we do a launch, we'll make a post asking you guys questions that you want to ask us about the product.
So we're asking them to ask us questions.
Yeah, we're
asking, questioning them to
course,
question us.
Of course, yes, that's the whole post. We've asked you guys to ask us questions.
Absolutely.
Makes sense, right? Absolutely. So ask those questions in that thread, and then we'll go through some of the questions, and hopefully we answer one of your questions.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, I believe we got a lot to get through because this was a really, really quite complicated piece and a lot of reasons about why we even made this piece in the first place. That I'd love to get cracking on there, Chocks.
It's an exciting time because Okami first PVC in the TF series, and yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Chocks, as you're talking, let's give it a spinneroonie, yeah? Boom.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
Right, let's start.
All right, let's do it.
Check this out first. This new color scheme.
I know, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's lovely kind of reds and yellows in there, and that's obviously to reflect the soda reflector that she's got going on over here.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay, first question from James Bennington. When did you know for sure that you wanted to do an AMI PVC?
Okay, that's a great question. Now, I think in order to answer that, we have to give a little kind of brief review of how we got here in the first place. So back in 2016, we started really going into the PVC lines for us as a company, and we started that off with the Breath of the Wild Link we did, and followed that up with sort of Crash. We did some Spyros, some Dark Souls SDs as well, and we really felt that that was something that we were interested as a company to really kind of dive a little bit deeper into this piece as well, and sort of into this type of product. And we wanted to see whether or not we could apply the PVC to make some PVCs of some of the things that we've done before in resin. So some of the licenses that we have, just to see whether or not it would translate well into a PVC. And we really got that sort of thinking and development really from sort of 2016 onwards. And here we are, Chocks, 3 years later in 2019, and we're finally here with our first ever Capcom PVC. Of course, it is from the Okami line. Now, what was quite interesting is, Chocks, is in order to really understand a little bit more about this piece, you have to understand our business model, just to kind of understand our rationale behind things. Now, we've always been known for making resin pieces. And for resin pieces, it's really much more about you make a piece, you set it up for pre-order, and you sell 5, 6, 7, 1,000 units, 2,000 units, whatever it may be. But typically, you're relying on direct-to-consumer sales. And it means that you're much more willing just to make it because you have faith in the product that you're making and that the customers will buy it, etc. It means that you can really just go ahead and just create that resin piece. However, when it comes to something like a PVC, you really have to consider that the end user isn't going to be directly on your website, but actually the aim for these kinds of pieces are to be in the sort of chain stores, so people can really use these to discover us as a company. So you go into a store, you randomly see one of our pieces, oh my god, look, there's an AMI there in this random store. Who are these guys who made it? Oh, it's First Figures, who are they, etc., etc. So we knew that for these PVCs, the idea is that they end up on the shelves in those places. Maybe you'll see them at conventions, maybe you'll see them at your local gaming store, or wherever it may be. That's more how these pieces come about for the PVCs. Now, the issue with that, of course, is it means that we have to really rely on the distributors to help get us into those chain stores to make sure a piece like this is viable and that this project is something that we can actually do. Now, sorry to give you all that background, it's kind of important to understand that the reason why we actually could do this project, it was only because we had both the expertise in both resin and PVC that we could take on this project. And the reason is we didn't actually get the response that we had hoped for initially. When we said, hey guys, talking to our distributors, hey, let's make a Amaterasu
from the wholesale
from the wholesale distributors, right? And they were like,
Yeah.
oh well, we don't know. I mean, the game didn't do as well as it could have done, and we're not sure about that. But we said, we made this resin piece before, and it was really, really well received. We definitely believe it's something that Okami fans would really like.
Yeah,
and
I remember when back in 2016 when the resin piece was actually going out to the market. Those that previously, this was way before we had the Collectors Club when people pre-ordered the actual Okami.
Well, you say it's way before. Actually, we launched it on the 6th of January, and we launched the Collectors Club on the 8th.
Yeah,
so all 2 days beforehand. Way before we had the club.
Right, but but it was still early days, right? Not a lot of people were busy in the club, on the Facebook, etc. So at the time when this came out, when of course the die-hard collectors that collect resin, they knew about it. They obviously pre-ordered and received their product.
Right.
But once the news went out there that there's actually an Okami product out there, because honestly there's not quite many out in the market. But once they knew there's upcoming resin piece, a lot of people came in and said, would there be a PVC version? Is there a cheaper version out there?
Right.
And that kind of
and the reason for that, of course, is because we actually launched our Link in 2016, around about very similar to the time.
And like everyone was kind of like, FRF doing PVC is kind of like out of nowhere. Yeah. And then that kind of like snowballed into, like you said, into the crash, into the spiral,
into doing other licenses as well. Absolutely.
Kind of like just taking one at a time. And obviously we knew that a lot of people missed out on the 1/4 scale resin Amaterasu.
Right.
And it would be great for people to pick up Ami in a different pose, which led to where we are.
Exactly today. Right. So we were a little bit discouraged, to be honest with you, Chocks, because it's much harder. It's very easy to connect with Okami fans. You can find lots of Okami fans directly, right? But when it comes to something like dealing with wholesale, you've only got a select few buyers who are representing the chain stores, and they have to sort of then talk to the chain stores, and then it goes into the chain stores. But the point is, if you don't convince the first person, it doesn't go into the chain stores. So it's much harder to... So if that person sort of says, I'm not very keen on the idea, all of a sudden you don't feel like you have an outlet for this project, and therefore it's going to be something that's over before we even get started. But we know that there's a huge demand for Okami products because we've seen that ourselves, and so we wanted to see if we could bring this to the masses. So we weren't going to be deterred. I mean, we were a little bit, it made us a little bit hesitant, but we thought, how can we still do this? And the way that we're going to do this is this, Chocks, is in order for this piece to be a viable project, we've simultaneously made a PVC, but also upscaled it into a resin. Now, this is the first time this has happened, and it's starting off with this piece here.
Yeah.
Now, it's very important that we let you guys know that now, because we're very much of the belief that customers should be absolutely informed when making their purchasing decisions, and that maybe the resin piece is something for you.
Yeah, for example, like I just said earlier, those guys that missed out the quarter scale resin of the Amaterasu, then they say, I'm going to pick up the Shiranui, but I'm still missing my Ami.
Right.
And this is where the upscale version of
I mean, that's a
will
good
fill that void.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And likewise, maybe that's not for someone else. Maybe they're not massively into Okami to spend so much money on a big 1/4 resin, but absolutely they would like to have this piece to represent the piece for them, the franchise for them. So by doing two different materials and scales and quite wildly different pricing, it really allows for us to cover quite a wide variety of different collectors in different situations, right? So in order for this, and it helped us out a lot, because it meant that if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have made this version. And the reason why I say that is because they shared a lot of development costs. Now, what I say by that is, one was obviously, once the pose is final, and when you see the actual resin version, the pose is exactly the same, because we simply upscaled it. We simply just upscaled it, so we could share the concept and the project and the development work together and look at the project as two parts, Chocks. The PVC part and the resin part. And then all of a sudden, if you're looking at the project as an overall project, 2 parts to one project, all of a sudden it meant that this project could move ahead and it could be viable for us to do it, and that we could look at it as part PVC and part resin and look at the project together. That led us to go, you know what, we're happy to take the risk and make this, even if it doesn't do, if we can't get it into the chain stores, etc., it means that we still have to look at the resin side as well, to look at the overall project together. So that's quite a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I mean, we talk about this kind of thing quite a lot in the club, but I think if you're watching this documentary for the first time, it might be a little bit quite interesting for you to understand a little bit about the way that we do things, and just understanding how the effects of retail can affect what we produce, and how can we, when we believe in a product enough, to kind of almost not listen to that advice if they're saying we don't think it's going to sell, particularly in terms of the retailers. We can be like, you know what, we're going to prove you that we're going to still make this project, basically. So again, the reason why we talk about that is so that you guys are informed that there will be the exactly same thing, just obviously a lot bigger and in resin and more limited, of course. And in numbers, that will be available as well at a later date. We haven't decided when that is, maybe 3, 4, 5 months away. We're not sure, something like that.
If you've been eyeing on that Shiranui resin, it's a good time to pick one up.
Right.
Jump on the wait list.
Absolutely.
On that, because you know that the 1/4 scale resin of this Amaterasu will
Is
be
coming
out.
soon, right? Exactly. So just give yourself a bit of break in between, right? Yeah.
That's
So,
right, yeah.
so it was really important to you know, and that principle actually, CHOCKS, is actually allowed for us to make more and more pieces in the future where it's going to follow the same pattern, where we have a PVC and a resin in the same pose, just upscaled and all that sort of stuff, to really cover both areas of the market. To cater to different
types of collectors.
Absolutely.
The ones that want to collect them all, both PVC and resin.
There is those kind of collectors as well. And so that was something that was really kind of shaped through the club as well. The club really, it was something that we bounced back and forth with the club to explain our decision and what their thoughts were on that. So that was definitely something that I feel was something that that this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody who's been following what's been happening in the club. And it definitely is something that we're happy that we've done it. And I'm so proud that we're here to be able to show this piece off. It's such an awesome looking piece, CHOCKS, that I'm just glad that we got here.
All right.
Alrighty.
Right, ready? Next question?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, from Adam Elgamal. Well, what made you go for the pose you chose?
Okay, that's quite interesting. So when I knew that we wanted to...
Can we spin this the way around?
Yeah, sure,
Does
I
it
think.
work?
Let me see. Probably manually turn him. That's still going the other way. Oh, yes. And that kind of makes sense because he's turning.
Yes.
Wow, what a perfect time for the actual... So you can see that he's in this turning pose. He's turning to the right, CHOCKS. So as you said, you're spinning him. She. Did I say he? Oh, whoopsies. So yes, so absolutely, she is turning in that angle. So where did the pose come from? Okay, well, one of the things is I also want to shout out to Studio Hive. Back when we were considering doing this, one of the fantastic concept team, and they came up with an initial concept which was quite loose, but it really had a nice flow to it, which was up on the clouds. And but what's quite interesting with that one is visually it looked really nice, but what's quite interesting is it was very, very straight. It was running forwards with the feet, the backside up. And the way I can remember the design was the solar reflector was there and it was translucent. So what I mean by that is it was just this kind of overall shape of it wasn't like a finished render, it was just like a quick sketch that had the reflector was translucent, as in it wasn't opaque, and you could see the shape of Ami. However, when we took that pose, that concept, and put it into 3D and made this how it looks like now, you'll find that looking from the front on shot, which we call the money shot, almost all the figure was covered. It was literally the head.
And then the tail. Covering the whole entire body because of the flames.
Right. Exactly right. So I said this doesn't look, whilst it looked good in 2D, I think the reason why it looked good is because I didn't really consider it, because as I said, they made it translucent and you could still see the whole body because it was underneath. But of course, when you physically make it, Chocks, and you're doing it in 3D, you're like, wait a sec, where is it?
Yeah,
I just might as well just make a head
You really want
and
to
a
show
tail.
off the wings and the body.
You
as
want to
well.
show it all off.
Yeah.
So if I'm just going to stop the spinning, this is the front on shot, and I say it's a front on shot because we do it for the angle of looking directly into the camera. How much more can you see of this piece now that this is the designated front? Now originally it would have been something like, oh, it's kind of hard to see. I guess you can kind of imagine that. Now what you would have to imagine is that the head is forward and the tail is more, it's like one line running forwards.
Yeah.
You would see just the front of the head and the tail with a reflector in the middle. That's kind of like what it would have looked like. But look at this difference here. When you look at it like that, you can see so much more. You can see the obviously the length of the body. You can see the legs more. You can see the foot over here raised. You can see much more of the base itself as well. Because yeah, you couldn't really even see any of the base like that from that angle. And this beautiful cloud effect that you've got there, you can really see it quite prominently from the money shot from over here. I'm gonna turn this on, it's gonna go the wrong way, isn't it? Oh, perfect. So in order to be able to show that, Chocks, we had to have the turning of the body to be able to have the money shot being the head looking forwards, but still be able to see everything as well. So, why don't we sort of take the time to talk a little bit more about the pose? What is it that you see? What do you see from there as well, Chocks?
Oh, it's, again, like I said, turning, running.
The turning running aspect was just more of a ability to see more of the figure itself. That would allow us to do that. But the actual pose itself, what's going on? What's she doing? How is the flow of the body, the rhythm?
Well, again, it's turning around. I'm not sure how exactly, I mean, what kind of expression she's putting there.
So the important thing is, as you said, she's turning around,
Right.
but she's clearly in a ton of motion. She's clearly running as fast as she can. Now, when you are running as the way that the feet are positioned, you can see that the foot is up at the back and the foot is up at the front. And that gives a sense that she's not stationary. Now, our original Amaterasu resin is quite stationary because all the 4 feet are on the ground, she's howling.
Yeah.
And our Shiranui is similar as well. The foot's up in the air. This is our most dynamic Amaterasu that we've done. And clearly there is a sense of motion. And we give that sense of motion through the turning of the head, like she's turning, right? The second is the way that the feet are, and of course, the movement of the tail as well. The movement of the tail, the way that's sort of flicking up and around. Again, it's giving more dynamism to the piece itself. And again, the clouds, it's almost like, you can almost say it's like it's a kick up from the pace, because you know when you're running around, you have little bits of flat clouds and a little bit of flowers that come out. We wanted to have that come out. All of that really helps to give the feeling that she's running, and she's running fast. Do you feel like that's being can you see how that's coming through that, Chocks?
There's power from that back kick,
Right.
sure, with the clouds.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she's running extremely fast, but
Hey,
she's
you're gone there. You
turning.
catch her then.
Maybe she's turning really fast.
So you catch her, mate. I have a Shiba Inu, right, Bella, and when she wants to run,
Right.
hey, good luck catching her. She looks just like that. I'll bloody freeze throw her. And so, anyways, whether or not you think she's going at 10 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour,
A nice pace. Yeah, a nice pace.
a little jog, yeah.
A little jog.
Well, certainly in any
Gracefully.
case,
It's a graceful.
It's a graceful
pace.
So, yes. So, but it's certainly a more movement in it.
Sure, definitely.
Compared to obviously with the other ones as well.
Even with the bus, life-size buses.
Yeah, right. Okay.
We missed that one out.
Yeah, sure. So, you know, in terms of actually when we first showed this piece, this is going
was
back
this?
into
Yeah.
Gamescom 2018, so it's a long time ago.
It's the first time, right?
Yeah, so I'm coming up to a year. And the reason why it's taken so long is because there's been a lot of work and it's been quite challenging about the actual piece itself in terms of actually making it. Well, we can talk about that a little bit later on, but just in terms of the rest of this piece, why don't we talk about some of the details, Chocks? Over to you.
Well, again, as you expect, I mean, we spent a lot of time with the pattern, especially. No, actually, that's Shiranui I'm thinking of. With this one, it's kind of straightforward. It's pretty much exactly like the quarter scale resin of Amaterasu. So the patterns just follow exactly how it is. Same with the life-size bust that we did. So we had two tries with Amaterasu before we started doing this third version. So, but yeah, I mean, the wings, both of them propping up the solar reflector. Again, we used kind of translucent material at the top to give off that kind of clear effect. So if you have the studio lights on right now, you can see it's a little bit too far from now, but hopefully we'll have some close-up shots.
Right,
you can see the effects of the kind of the clear material. And but the details, the whole point of us doing PVC is using the skills that we have from resin and making sure that is translated into the PVC. So we want to do PVC to keep the scale down, but at the same time making sure that the details are still in there. For example, like the wings on either side of the body, and actually on the feet as well. It has all that intricate detailed line that you would have seen with the life-size bust and quarter scale resin. That is translated really well onto this PVC as well. So lots of swirls, all individually sculpted. The lines drawn onto it as well, and then you have obviously the
ink
brush at the tip
yeah.
at the end. So, and then the actual body itself, the unpainted parts, you know, the fur, all that is sculpted. You know, like how, for example, like she said, she's running, so they're all kind of pulled back.
Right.
Plenty of layers on.
There's
top
some
of
subtle
each other.
shading in there. It's not.
Yeah, I mean
painted,
that's yeah. I mean, I'm just talking about the sculpt.
Yeah,
for now.
right.
So I mean, the head sculpt itself, the fur that's coming out, overlaying on top of the body itself, and then, like I said, the shading where the exactly where the feet are with the nails. That has black with a touch of white on the tip of the nails as well. So it's
not just a solid black.
Yeah, it's not a solid black. So there's whites and greys, different types of greys as well. So it's not just one shade of grey.
And how beautiful is that reflector? Have you seen the jade color on the top?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, different greens, and you can see the detail as well. So if you remember the life-size bust and the Amaterasu, please do check out the making of documentary of those where you have the close-up shots of the actual jade part. You can see the same patterns on top of that. And
Of the life-size bust one, yeah?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we didn't do one of the smaller ones.
That's right. That's much more detail on the life-size bust. So we translated that onto this one, and again, you can see the mirror underneath it as well. Don't break that. You don't want it bad
Luck. 7 years.
Is it 7 or 3?
7, mate.
7. Oh my god. All right, and then one extra detail behind there.
If we have to point it out to you,
Yeah, I know. You're not an old Cammy
You're
fan.
fan,
Yeah, exactly. And then, okay, is that everything about the body?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, the swirly pattern on the side. That's why we have her turning.
So you can see
So
it.
you can see the reds.
All right, yeah, the body markings.
Yeah, the markings. That's it. And then the clouds. That has a different shade of
Slightly
blues,
whiter.
yeah.
It's slightly whiter with blues in there.
Yeah, some blues in there. And then obviously the foliage with the leaves, different shades of green, shadings on those, plenty of leaves. And then you have the,
Cute flowers.
cute flowers. There's a pink, there's a blue, there's a yellow,
There's some rocks in there as well.
darker
Chocks.
pink, a kind of an orangey colour, and then another darker blue. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flowers.
Can you see the rocks in the middle
Yeah,
as
the
well?
rocks as well. So rocks shaded as rocks should be in the game.
Absolutely.
And then a flame effect, different oranges and yellows, and again with the clear material, it kind of just adds that kind of extra sheen to it.
It does.
So obviously that's kind of a more of a glossy effect, a glossy paintwork on there, and then the body is more matte with a slight pearl effect onto it, right? Did we
No,
add some-
no,
did
no,
we
no,
not add
no,
some
no,
pearl
no,
to it?
no, 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 no,
No?
no.
Okay.
It's got that kind of matte look to it,
Matt.
which really means that the glossiness of the reflector really comes off really well in comparison. And the base itself,
Yes.
it's round. If you talk about the actual red part, it's round, but there's a reason for that, and that's because we took inspiration from the actual logo of the Okami logo, where it's got that round before it has the dash and the
flame
Okami.
effect.
Right, and on there, directly on top of it, is the design of the flames inside the Okami logo itself, and that's what we put over here. So I think that really represents it really, really well. Now, I know, of course, you could say that there is a more complicated base or what have you, but the point about these PVCs is to get it at a price point that's more accessible, that it can go into the chain stores, etc., etc. So I think with what we're given, it really makes sense. And you have this beautiful red thing which represents what you see from the Okami logo, and then you also, with the Okami logo, has a black ring around it as well. We have this black base, but we haven't left the base plain and black. We have added this beautiful pattern that's gone all the way around it in this nice little gold color, and it goes really well with each other. And we actually run that one by the club as well, which version they actually prefer to see. Do you remember that, Joe? So do you remember where we got the inspiration from this? Buffy made this one. I think it was from the wall scrolls or something like that. From the scrolls, some of the patterns on there.
Exactly, yeah.
And it just really adds a nice little bit that brings it and ties it into the actual Okami thing, to the actual thing.
One other detail, if you focus on the feet, how they're raised up, you can see the paw prints underneath as well. So the front paw, both of the back paw, are kind of like some of it is showing on this cloud part.
Right.
But you see majority of the paw print on
this one over here. And that's why
this
we
one
like to
over
have
here
like
and the one at the
details
front.
that you look from different angles, because most people only look at the figure from the front. But if you pick it up and look around, it still needs to look good from other angles, and it's important to make sure that the details are there as well for that. Absolutely. And just one last thing is to say that there is, the details on the paws, they're also shaded and not just a pure one color.
Obviously, the inner part of the paw, obviously, whereas majority of the time it's touching the ground, is much more of a lighter.
And there are some
lighter grey.
nails as well on the sort of thumbnail as well.
Yeah. Okay then, next question.
All right.
All right, next one from Adam James Meredith. What was the most challenging aspect of creating the figure?
I think, as always, the creation of this figurine, when it comes to the PVCs, is always about how is it that it can stay in the same shape, pose for years to come, especially because the material of PVC is very different to resin, and there's different considerations for that. Also, there's a ton of technical difficulties that we have with creating the molds, because certain types of material, ABS and PVC, they come out of the mold quite differently, and they have different effects in terms of the details that can be had on it and all that sort of stuff. So instead of me talking about it, why don't I show you guys a little bit more about that, and we can talk about them in each part. I think that's a good way to answer Adam James's his question.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, why don't we bring that in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Check it out, guys. Okay, so we have some of the parts. I mean, there's a lot more parts than this, but this is enough to really kind of talk about some of the details of the differences between the different materials and the considerations we had to do when it coming to the engineering, which for me was the hardest aspect of this piece, no doubt. So the first thing I want to do is, Chocks, if you bring up your body here, this is made in PVC. Now this is solid PVC, you've got a nice weight to that, right, Chocks? So a nice weight to this. And the thing about PVC is you can heat it up and make it soft. Now, you know, in your own experience, and I'm sure a lot of you guys who collect PVC items as well, there is always the concern that if you're in a hot room, over time, you'll find that your piece, if it's made of pure PVC, will bend and lean over in the future. And that really is something that always scares me, because there's a latent defect, which means that it goes out looking great, but when you leave it for a long time, it's something that happens over a year, 2 years, 3 years. That's something I really want to try and avoid as much as possible. So a lot of engineering aspects come into this to avoid that. So in order to consider that, the great thing about PVC is that it's also its biggest problem, which is when you heat it up, it becomes soft. Now that allows for you to have joints that are really quite hard to put in normally, to then heat up the different pieces and then be able to put them in and then cool it down, and then it kind of stays in place. That's a great example. However, when it comes out of the mold, one of the considerations we always have is where is the parting line of the mold? So, because you know that molds it can be in various pieces, right? Let's say for the easiest consideration, it's 2 pieces of the mold. You open up the mold, you have 2 pieces of the mold, and they have cavities in the mold, right? Of course, when you inject the PVC in, and you open it up, what's left is you take out is the PVC. You take it out. Now, there's tons of consideration where you have to think about overcut and undercut, and that means if it can't come out of the mold easily, it means that it can't be manufactured. So the way this piece is made, you can see there's a if you look carefully, there's a mold going down here, right down the middle, and then it goes down along the legs and down the other leg as well there. It's like a 2-part mold, right? And what the factory initially suggested to me, which I was like, hell no, was this head would have been connected, right, so put the head on there, connected to the mold in one piece. Now, if you consider that logic, I've just told you that this line for this piece over here, this body piece, goes down the back along the middle, right? If we had this head in one piece, i.e. we didn't separate it, tell me what would happen. Exactly right. You have a line that goes all the way down, you're completely right, in between the ears, down the nose and down the middle, back underneath, right down the middle. Oh my god, that would look awful. Now, don't get me wrong, we would still polish, and some of the mold lines that we have actually polished on the final piece as well. We would absolutely polish it, but it's still never going to be as good as if you didn't have the lines there in the first place. Now, here is a problem, Chocks. As always, it's a cost and benefit. There's always pros and cons. Now, of course, if you had that came in one piece, obviously the massive con of that, of course, is there's a horrible line that goes right down the middle on the face. Awful. However, the pro is, of course, there is no separation at the neck. You don't see the line that goes down the neck at this area here, right? But of course, on the flip side, the pro of this is having it separate is you don't have that line, but the con, of course, is the way it comes into this. And that is what, fundamentally, all projects in PVC is a full-on pro and con. It affects the aesthetics in one way. Which is the best of this? What is the best choice? What is the best way we can do it? And that's the reality, Chocks. That's what we have to deal with any of these projects. So having this as a separate thing, though, we knew, it was a no-brainer. We're not having a line going down the head. No ifs or buts. I don't care about. I would much rather have the line around the neck than I would rather having it along the front. However, what we did do, therefore, is we increased the height of the fur, because originally, before, it was a separation where the line was a pure line cut. And it just looked really, really, really bad, because it looked like we were just a pure cut on the line.
It would have looked like that.
Right.
Rather than above it.
Exactly. Yeah. So fur has layers, and therefore we made it so it was just very, very slightly above, so it looked like it was a layer of the fur.
Overlapping.
Exactly, which is far more natural. So we had to make those things, and we had to do the actual separation look like it was fur edges. So if you look sort of like that, you can see how it's kind of like the fur edges is kind of jagged along that. All of that stuff, again, is the complications that we have to deal with when doing it with it in PVC, which you don't really have that in resin, because they use silicone molds. It all comes down to the molds itself, okay? So that's one issue I wanted to sort of show you. Another example is, again, let's say you just put his leg in, you got this wing foot over here. Now what's interesting, Chocks, is this foot doesn't have any structural significance.
Right. Yeah.
If you look at this piece over here, you'll see that this foot is in the air, it's not touching the ground, it's not have any structural significance. The only thing I care about is what's touching the ground. Structural integrity must be the things that are touching the ground. So, yes, and just going back to the point that you just said that it was missing some toes. Well, we have the toes separately here. It allows for us to really paint them individually, and then just insert them in afterwards.
Yeah.
You see how that goes in there?
Yeah, they're clean lines.
Clean lines.
Clean lines. So.
But of course, the problem with that, Chocks, is because it's not physically possible to then paint it very easily with them attached. Because we're using spray molds for this as opposed to using hands. And when you start using hand painting, I always hate it when the factory uses hand painting in this environment, in a PVC environment. So when it comes to this, it really made sense that we separated those out. But of course, again, we now have an issue where there's a slight line that goes around the edges of them.
Yeah.
Pros and cons, pros and cons, pros and cons. And that's what we're always facing with every design aspect of the PVC. Now moving on to the engineering aspect again, which as I said, which is more important, is I want to bring your attention to this piece over here.
Yeah.
This piece and this piece up here. Yeah. I mean, the main thing is, it's this piece over here, okay? I will give you 50 quid right here, right now, if you can break that. If you can physically, even remotely bend that in any shape, way or form, use all your strength to do anything on that, I give you 100 quid, mate, 100 quid. Now,
I'll break something off it.
easy, let me see. Which part was that? Just like this bit of the bud.
That's part of the spruce.
Spruce, yeah. How it comes in, cheeky. No, look. So if you take this piece over here,
Sure.
Take this piece over here.
Okay.
Apply
one, yeah.
some force to it.
Oh yeah, easy.
Go on then. Boom. Boom.
Yeah, because look at the flex on that.
Look at that, right? Totally flexible. Totally flexible because this
I won't do that to her.
is not a connection point that you have to worry about because that is this part over here. But this is what it's all about, Chocks, right over here. So talk to me about this part over here.
This one.
Can you, in any shape, way or form, bend that? You can feel it's completely different, right? This is because this is ABS material and this is PVC material. PVC has the softness to it, which is both its pro and con. This has a hardness to it. One of the cons on this is, Chocks, it's harder to get surface details on this. Now, Ami's a really great example of using this piece. Why? Because she's quite smooth. But look, certainly in this area, it's quite smooth along the pores. So it was perfect use of this. So if you go ahead and you apply the logic of this piece going into, this is just the entirety of this piece here. The entirety of this piece here, right, is the most important thing. It's the most important thing to make sure that we have this type of material to hold it in its place. So here is the base itself.
Yeah, goes into that hole.
Yeah, goes into that hole.
So that's what it looks like, guys. That's what it. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. So the feet goes into that hole. Guys, just to highlight, you don't need to build this yourself. So once you have this, once you take this PVC home, it's all pre-painted. We're just showing you the breakdowns of the parts.
Absolutely. Yeah, so just really wanted to show you that. And it's giving you the understanding of the difficulty, because Adam James was asking about what was the...
I feel like I can break this.
That one, yeah, that's not a problem. First of all, that's only one part. You need another part to go with it, right? Obviously, there's a two-part thing, which I haven't given you, because I know you're on the rampage to break some stuff. But this is the most important one. Because inside this, there is also another, which I should have brought over, which is
an actual, like a
internal skeleton thing that goes into that.
Another peg that goes in there that connects two pieces together.
Right.
As support.
Exactly. So the important thing, again, is just how do we make these pieces? Well, we have to consider that. The interesting thing as well, Chocks, is we have an ABS mold, and the ABS mold means that different things get made in that part. Now, the reason why this is transparent is not because this needs to be transparent. It absolutely does not need to be transparent. But the reason why this is transparent is because we have here the reflector, which I want to show you. We have this piece, and this piece of the reflector. Okay, hard to see, right? Here's a reflector. Okay, it's completely transparent. Now we know that we need to make the reflector transparent because it's going to give this kind of translucent effect to the fire. It needed to be transparent.
Yeah.
But because this is ABS as well, again, it's like that hard material. Now, I'm not suggesting that you can't crack this one, right? Because that's not what it's for. It's very thin, so you can, right? But because this is transparent, it must be transparent, and they use the same mold, that's why this has come out transparent. Because we have to paint this eventually. So, the reason why we have this hard material here, again, we talked about this, Chocks. This is ABS, which we had a transparent ABS section as well. You can feel the flex on that. You heat this up, and then you have the ability to then assemble. Because right now, it's a little bit hard to get this piece inside, right? It's a little bit hard to get this piece inside. Not gonna lie, right? It's a little bit hard to get this piece inside. But if I was to heat this up, it would slip right in perfectly every time. Make sure that is. Yeah. I just put that in there. Good. Hold on, where's the hole? You can see this part goes in here actually. Here, Chocks.
Goes in there.
All right. Yeah, it does go in there. Goes in. Yeah. But in order to get it in just a little bit more perfect fit and what have you, they will just by default. Oh, there you go. Cool. Yeah, okay. That snapped in nice. But heating that up and then putting that in is going to be just slot in smooth like butter. Just straight in. So that's what I really wanted to kind of show you guys, to explain some of the differences between the different parts of ABS and PVC, some of the difficulties that we had and why we separated it, how we separated it, all that good stuff. And again, this is the base. If it goes into the base.
How many pieces altogether?
I mean, there's got to be 80, 90 pieces minimum, probably more. I don't even know. I'm not counting it. Make good luck. There's a ton of different pieces. I think that's probably even more than that.
Probably the most pieces.
100% it is.
Yeah.
100% it is. Because it's not even like
compared to the previous piece.
I mean, look, for example, look at this. This is just one part of the figurine, one part of the leaf. So they have multiple layers of these leaves just to create one piece. You can see how it is connected to the spruces. This tiny one little part here. Just to fit all together, the way they all connect together, all of that sort of stuff. To get that kind of 3D thing, to make it look like it's separated, we could have stuck it all together and made it quite 2D, and it would have been one mold, and then it would have been one piece come out, but then you don't have that volume to it. You don't have the way, I mean, I love the way this looks now, the way that it's separated. It looks like how a leaf should look, that kind of idea.
And like I said, clean lines.
Absolutely.
It's easier to spray paint this entire leaf.
That's
section,
right. So
rather than spraying it on top of the cloud.
If it was connected to the cloud, you're going to have the green go onto the white go onto the green.
Bleeding.
It looks really, really bad. And that's why we have, I think this was something like, I like to think it's something like 9 sets of molds. 9 sets of molds, which if we didn't separate it, we'd probably get it done in 4 or 5. That means that we've really separated it much more in order to do manufacturing in a quick way, but in a way that is done that no hand painting is done and that it's very controlled. That's the point. That's the reason why we do the separations like that. Whew.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. All right, Chocks.
All right.
Why don't we get rid of these and then ask the next question, and we'll do that in 3, 2, 1. Boom! We're back, Chocks. All right, what's that next question then?
All right, next question from Bridget Liang. Any chance of Anami or Shiranui GSB?
Oh, that's interesting. So we're making grand scale busts in other
That's
lines.
what GSB stands for.
Yeah, it's grand scale busts. So
we've done a
life-size one
bust,
of
Amaterasu.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, hey, if you guys want that, we'd love to hear about that. Absolutely, we'd love to look into doing something like that. Yeah, hey, I'm a massive fan of Okami, so it'd be really cool to be able to do something like that. Oh, right. What's the next one, Chocks?
Quickest answer to the shortest question so far, right?
Go on then.
Next question, Ryan Heath. I'm wondering if I should finally finish this game.
Right now. Stop watching, pause this video right now. Do it right now. What console have you got on? Right now. when you come back,
What do you meant by this game?
like,
I guess obviously Okami.
I believe he's not finished it.
He's
so
answered that question.
I believe so. Exactly.
In the
So-
Q&A thread.
right now. Right, guys. So what I wanted to show you is this is the AMI, obviously the AMI TF. I'm trying to TF.
Yeah.
One of the things for us is something that is kind of, it's very important. The whole idea of this thing is you're gonna walk into a shop and see it on the shelf. That for me it's really important that you see it on the shelf. It's not like our resins where people don't know what it comes like in packaging. That's not really the point. Because they've ordered the piece based on what it is and it comes in whatever packaging it comes in and it arrives safely, etc., etc. But for the PVCs, we're expecting this to be in shelves, on shelves in shows or, in shops, etc. So it's important that the packaging is also beautiful to attract people to buy it. To buy her, I should say. So why don't we show the packaging and so you can have a better idea what that looks like. I'll bring that in. 3, 2, 1. Boom! Check it out, guys. An amazing job done by Sylvie. She's made this packaging and look at this, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, of course, I just want to say this is not the final one. It's still subject to final approval, but it gives you an idea of what we're going for, what we want for people to see as they're going into the shops to be attracted
If you
to
guys
try
are
and
familiarized with our previous PVC,
Right.
you can see how there's kind of the same
sort of styling,
same template that we
right?
always go for. So if you
Right,
have
right.
other PVCs in our range, then this will blend in with that collection.
Absolutely, and one of those things that we do is we always go for this beautiful open window box
Yeah.
design, and it's really important that we can see a lot of the figurine inside.
So you
You
see
can
that
really see
in
her.
the shop when the lights are shining on the product. You can see it from all different angles, or apart from the back, obviously, but you can see all three
Right.
sides. And then for those guys that want to keep things in the box, you can still admire Ami.
Like a huge amount you can actually see, and of course she'll be
Exactly,
facing
yeah.
the way that you got yours in front of you,
here.
just going forwards,
Yeah.
looking like that. So you'll be able to see, just as we say, we believe that's the money shot from the front. So we hope that this is going to make people walk past and go, oh wow, that looks really cool. Now, of course, we have this light open area going on here, but it's also important that we allowed for light to appear from the top as well. In order to do that, we cut out a hole, covered it with plastic as well, just to allow for the light to come in, and boom, check that out. Beautiful. Love to have that, the logo of the Akami logo, that's still the same pattern. And of course, CHOCKS matches very nicely with the base itself, the top of the base. It all goes together really, really nicely. The actual design itself, though, of course, we have the actual AMI picture over here. These beautiful cloud elements that come along over here, and it goes around the top. And again, this beautiful swirly design that again comes around all three sides. The sakura, did I talk about sakura? The sakura petals that go across.
Yeah.
And then, and of course, this is the prototype, but it will come with a genuine FRF product. There'll be a hologram over there just to make sure that it is a genuine piece itself. Now, some of the things, this is just a prototype, guys. Some of the things that we will be adding to it, if everything goes smoothly, is be adding some UV spot printing, which is going to make it a little bit more attractive. If you've seen our Spyro box, it's quite similar in design, where we have that kind of UV thing. It looks amazing. It catches the light again. Hopefully people are going to walk past and go, boom, oh my god, that looks amazing. And then that is the reason for these PVCs, so that people can then discover us, etc., etc. So yeah, we really hope you like what you see for the standard retail packaging.
There's other stuff. There's also what's inside.
Oh, of course,
The
CHOCKS.
backdrop. You can see from the camera right now. You can see some of the mountains and the greenery inside.
And it's not just you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So you can see this beautiful backdrop going on in there.
Yeah, so for those guys that want to display AMI like so, but you want something much more, you want to add to the scene, we have a little diorama backdrop piece inside the packaging. You just take that out, cut along the sides, or just fold the flaps behind, and then you put the figure on top
Yeah,
of
it's
the,
like the
top
inner,
base.
the inner card.
Yeah.
And also, if I scroll up a little bit there, CHOCKS, you can turn there. Look at that, the subtle sun rays coming out of that.
That's right,
Which
yeah.
you can't actually see until you turn it up. See that? Can't see it from there. It's just a nice little bit of extra detail that we always like to, if people take the time to check out our product,
And
you'll be able to see it.
also, there will be a leaflet in there, as always, with 500 extra reward points, which you can redeem on our website, which you can use for future FRF products.
Absolutely. Great. Cool. So hopefully you guys like what you see here for the standard one, and I think Sylvie's done a fantastic job. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Chocks, of course, that was the standard edition, but we also offer another version, which is the exclusive version, which is only available on our website.
Exactly.
This is actually what the standard looks like, but the exclusive has something a little bit different. Let me show you what that is right now, Chocks. So if I just lift this up and I flip a little switch, what I've got hidden down here below, right? Boom. Check it out. The solar reflector itself actually lights up, and I think it adds a nice little element to it for it to really bring it to life a little bit more. Now, of course, we're in a really bright studio setting, and it might be not so strong right now, but of course, if you're in a darkened room and you turn it on, it really brings some life to it. No, so if Ting could actually add that overlay so people can see what it looks like, that would be great. It really brings something extra to it, Chocks. Now, what's interesting, of course, as I said to you before, is we designed the solar reflector itself with a fire to be translucent in the molding and the PVC, etc. And the reason why it looks great when the light is off, but of course you need to have it transparent in order for you to actually see any lights coming out from the piece itself when you turn on the light for the exclusive version. So, as you said, Chocks, all the light goes through that, through the fire itself. It's looking good.
Yeah.
Now, this is the always on mode. It's like what we've done there is that the lighting just stays on in the same intensity for everything. But we also have an animated mode as well, Chalk. So if I turn it back over, it's just one more switch across. I move it across, and then there you go. So let's get some overlays on that as well, where you can see the way that it's moving. You can kind of pick it up on the camera, but I think how it looks, it's got this beautiful movement to it. The kind of way that fire flickers, Chalks. Now, something that was quite interesting is we knew that making this piece, we had to make sure that both the wings touched and held this piece up in the air. Because you know, Ami, the solar reflector actually has a kind of distance to it, a distance between here and here, and making it look like it's floating, Chalks. If you look at the actual game, it looks like it's floating. Well, we'd learned from before that we'd only done it with one wing before in our Ami resin, and that wasn't a very great decision by us. So we've done it so that the structural integrity will remain for this piece by having both of the wings connecting it. But it's done in a way that it's kind of subtle and it's hidden behind the flames, so it's not immediately obvious of the way it's been done. So that's something that we've done for Ami itself. Obviously both standard and exclusive are the same for that. I believe you have another question, Chocks.
Yep. Right, next question from Wendy Astomo. Will the exclusive have the rechargeable battery like the resin statue?
Over to you, Chocks.
Easy. I mean, obviously, for our previous experience with the PVC, we have learned quite a good deal when it comes to batteries, and now we have implemented that new findings into this PVC, and that is a USB port here with a battery indicator, a light indicator, and this does come with a rechargeable and removable battery. So this, if you have one of our resins, actually this is quite interesting. The Amaterasu quarter scale resin that uses an internal battery that stays fixed. The improvement we did after that was to use a rechargeable removable battery, which is 18600. Yeah. It's kind of a circular long battery for those resins. For this PVC,
18650.
Sorry, it's 18650, which is 65 millimeters. Yeah. For this one, it's new. It's 18500.
Right, so it's smaller by 1.5 centimeters.
It's 5 centimeter battery. So same.
Yeah, we learned that from we made a Artorias using button batteries, which didn't last for very long.
Exactly.
And so we wanted to improve that.
Yeah,
That's as we get better, that's what we should hope to do. Keep on doing that.
So so PVC, this will come with the exclusive. Will also come with the USB cable as well, so you can actually just take them out of the box and charge.
Yeah, and then you can just put it back and then just
so you can use the cable permanently plugged in, or just recharge the battery that's inside the base.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And something else that comes with the exclusive Chocks is actually this comes with some beautiful packaging, and we're going to show you that right now in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Check it out, guys. Over to you, Chocks. Talk us a little bit about that exclusive What comes with the exclusive as
Right,
well?
the exclusive, like, again, with Amaterasu PVC, with the lights included,
Yeah.
2 different modes, always on an animated mode, and there's a lovely handmade packaging. This is solid all the way around.
It's some great quality cardboard that we got there.
Yep.
But just to say that this is just a prototype right
yeah.
now, so
Subject
it's
to
going to be
final approval from our licensor as well. Same with the standard packaging.
right.
And so it also comes with exactly everything that was mentioned for the standard packaging. So you still get the reward points inside, you still get the backdrop diorama, and that standard packaging goes into this exclusive premium packaging box, which is only available on our website.
Right.
With part of the exclusive package.
So let's talk a little about some of the designs on there, Chocks, and I believe some of them are going to be using things like foil and
Yeah. All the different types of printing will be shown on here. So when you have this in hand, you might have this kind of a gritty feel to it, and then some of these parts or along these here might have some kind of a shine to it. So it's gonna feel different.
Yeah, so let's have a look at. So let's put it over here. Let's have a look. So this is the front.
Yeah, this is the front.
So I think all of this is going to be in a kind of dark brown,
foil.
dark brown reflector foil.
Foil. Yeah.
And then I think this is going to be. I'm not 100% sure what that's going to be. I think that's going to be that might be UV. I think all the logos are UV. So if you bring it back down over here, Charles. Oh, actually, all of this over here is going to be in a foil as well. This is an orange foil.
These are the front.
Yeah,
These patterns
absolutely.
are inspired from the scrolls in the game.
Absolutely. That's also what was matched on the base as well here.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's all tying in together. If you bring it then down, Chocks, this way.
This way.
Yeah. Okay, so this is, we have the Okami logo over here. If you have a picture of Ami over here, and this will be in foil.
Yeah.
And I think this is, and then go back over here. We have another one of the, it's the the Okami logo that I think will be also in UV. You get another foil.
So on the sides will be Ami, kind of a stencil etching image, and then the front top and the bottom will be the logo.
Right, and the bottom over here, this is going to be in a beautiful red foil, and it's got the browns, the sort of brownie gold kind of base here, and then it's this beautiful red line that will be done in red foil.
Yeah, which will have the usual FRF, TF numbering system, and also the Amaterasu, the name of the character.
Absolutely.
Alongside as well.
Absolutely.
So if you picked up one of our previous exclusive PVCs on the website, it again follows that same pattern, the same template, the style. So if you have one of the previous PVCs, this again, it's adding to that collection as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
all right.
So one other thing as well. This is a different pattern. So again, these were inspired from the scrolls in the game as well. So top and bottom. So it's like kind of like the scroll opens that way, or that pulls to one side. So you have that kind of same style from the cutscenes.
All right, Charles, should we pop it open then? Because there's a bit more in there.
Yep.
Oh, the bottom as well. You might as well do the bottom as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so this is the back again. Same.
The bottom.
Oh yeah, well,
I guess.
the bottom. Depending on where you look at.
true.
So the bottom of the packaging, again, you have Amaterasu 9-inch PVC Amaterasu statue, exclusive edition. Again, on our website, numbered edition. So, for example, this will have a number on the base.
Right.
So again, these are only exclusive to our exclusive editions. It's having the same formula as our resins, so this could be 3 out of 1,000, 4 out of 1,000, etc.
Sure.
etc. And then the numbering system will be printed or written on the bottom of the packaging as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one important thing to highlight for the exclusive edition.
So let's pop this off over here.
Guys, this is a prototype, so it's a little bit tough to put the boxes apart.
I'll try not to like whack it like that.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, cool.
Okay.
So as soon as you open the
Just put that
box,
it's a bit like that. Yeah. We're gonna have a little lip thing as well.
yep. So as soon as you open the lid, that's what it looks like. So it's very sturdy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, very sturdy box. And then as soon as you open that, you get this again. You can see the scroll here.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, this is going to be done in what kind of a material?
This is gonna have foil. It's gonna have foil on here as well.
Again, yeah. So you can see the flowers, the leaves. Yeah. Again.
This is gonna like a little bit more shine to the material as well.
Yeah. So this again, this card here will be again a very sturdy card, and then on the bottom
They have a little lip as well, one of those ribbon things, yeah.
Ribbon.
That's
ribbons.
right.
You actually take
With
them out.
tabs or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it makes it easier to pull off this.
Yeah, Samantha's watched a great job on that as well, making this box.
Yeah. And as always with our exclusive, also comes with authentication card. Oh, get it out this way. So
Yeah.
this is just a
mock-up again.
mock-up again. So depending on license or approval, but usually our authentication card will have a serial number on the front. You just enter that number on our website, including the number that you find underneath the base, to information you put on our website to authenticate, just to highlight that you have a legit product from First One Figures.
Absolutely.
Right. One other thing I want to mention, that if you do pre-order one of our Amaterasu PVCs during the pre-order phase, and you come back to the website during the launch to validate your product, this product will, when the item is ready to ship out to you, this product will actually come with 2 different cards.
We call it the signature edition.
Signature edition. So as standard, every single exclusive edition will come with this authentication card, but if you validate your signature edition, you will get an extra card that will be on this top piece here. So one at the bottom and one above it.
Right.
Yeah, so it's something for saying thank you to you guys for coming back and validating on day one.
Sure, supporting us for
Yeah,
that.
supporting. So you get an extra card, you get extra reward points, and an extra sticker as well.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, of course, when you actually remove the actual thing, you get the product itself. So, of course,
Finally.
you'll get your product itself
Yeah.
in there as well.
Exactly. So
And there will be double box as well, so it'll
Yeah.
get you
So
hopefully
there's
for
going
the
to be a lot
collection.
of boxes for these PPC guys, because we know that for us anyway, we put a lot of care and attention in designing these, and we want to protect that as well.
Absolutely.
So, and as collectors, I know you try and have perfect corners and all that stuff. So this will have a tissue paper that's protecting the standard packaging, and then this one will come in a 1 layer of brown shipping box, which that one would have
More logos.
more
and stuff on
logos
there,
and Okami stencil etching on the
Yes.
side of that box. And for that box, we'll go into the actual shipping box, which will have corner sponges, protectors that will protect that shipping box.
Right.
So, so 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes in total. Hey, you pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta, you
make sure you get it, what you get,
make sure
yeah.
you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So,
No, excellent, excellent. All right, Chocks. Well, I hope you guys like what you see for the exclusive version. So why don't you just put that down?
yeah.
Oops, this way. Yeah, that's one. So I'm just put this over here.
Whew.
Now, Chocks,
Right.
there is a few more things I wanted to do. What I wanted to know, Chocks, is whether or not anyone's noticed anything different, Chocks. Oh, you wait up. No.
You're wearing the same
Yeah,
shirt.
I'm wearing the same top.
You're
Yeah,
wearing the same shirt.
Oh, what's that, Chocks? Boom! Check it out, guys. Coming here is a variant. It's the Blade of Kusanagi. This is going to be only available on our website.
Again.
So you have both the Ami Solar Reflector and the Blade of Kusanagi version as well. And check it out, guys. So this is something that I've been really excited to do. She has so many different weapons, but it seems to be quite defaulted to the standard ones, which is the Solar Reflector, most of the time. And it was nice for us to do something a little bit different and give some sort of emphasis to some of the other weapons there. And that this is the Kusanagi version. Now, to be clear, it's not a swappable version. This is a completely separate piece. In order for it to work together, we couldn't have it separated. It had to physically be connected for it to have the structural stability and all those things to fit perfectly, because they're different connection points for the actual wings. So there are actually 2 versions itself. But let's just quickly focus on the actual sculpt itself. Look at that blade, Chocks.
Yeah, definitely.
If you look at the actual concept imagery and from the actual game, that's what it looks like. And that was really challenging to do, because you kind of see the way it's kind of floating in the air, where you have 2 different parts. The angle was really important. The way that the swirl goes around the actual piece, the actual jade sword as well, all of that stuff was really quite challenging to do. You can really sort of see. And actually for this time, you can actually see a lot more of Ami herself compared to actually with the solar reflector. But again, it was important that when you look at it from the money shot, that you get a really good view of that blade going across there. Had some beautiful effects to it.
It's not just one flat horizontal blade that we just stuck on. They have different levels as well. So if you look from my angle here, the very top level is this center part here. This kind of like swirls,
Right.
and then it goes to the very bottom level, and then it kind of swirls back in underneath this side, and then coming back to the top and to level off on the same level as this one. The next level here is this green handle, and the level below that will be back to where this other part of the swirl will come underneath this handle and back up to the top. And the lowest level again would from that side will be this part of the blade. So it starts off at the bottom level, and obviously because of the swirls coming above it, it's giving off that impression that it's at the top level here. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. It's quite a visual feast, actually, the way it's looking like
The
that.
way it's sculpted, and obviously the actual swirls themselves will have sculpt lines going along them, going around them, all the way to the either end.
Absolutely.
And they're all etched in with some black lines, ink lines. Same with the sword as well. They have etches, zigzag, straight lines, curved lines that goes around it, 3D all the way around, and then different shades.
Now, one of the things about this
Shades of
CHOCKS
painting.
is, of course, that you might have noticed that there's a slight kind of translucency to this. And the reason why we've done that, CHOCKS, is because the exclusive version also comes with, does the pop this up over here? Check that out, guys. Look at the way that really, really looks stunning. Now, I just want to say, we're actually going to slightly reduce the intensity a little bit on this because we want to avoid the dotted effect. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. Because the dotted effect of the individual LEDs is something we want to try and reduce that down. So we're dimming it slightly and thicker painting it a little bit more for the, so this is just to say that's not what the final one's going to look like. Maybe, so just to give you that heads up on that, but awesome. Awesome. Now, one of the things, CHOCKS, is that this doesn't have any other mode apart from the always on mode. Right. So this is the permanently always on mode.
Single mode for this one.
Absolutely gorgeous. Just love it.
Yeah, from the light blues in the middle, going into the darker blues, and all the way to the tip, purple.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why don't I bring up the? Let's sort of compare them side by side, CHOCKS. So.
Off the turntable.
Yeah. Let's move that. Okay, so yeah, you can now get a better idea. Let me turn
yours
on.
on?
Okay.
So always on mode?
Yeah, that's the always on mode.
Yeah, always on mode for now.
Yeah. And this one is done better in terms of reducing the LED, so I think it'll be something a bit more. This is a little bit, a little bit too bright, right? So you can really see how they look next to each other. And CHOCKS will be offering this as a combo pack, where you can buy them both on our website at the same time and get yourself a little bit of a thank you discount from us if you decided to do that. Otherwise, of course, they're both individually available on our website as well. Now, this version, it's important that we say also that this version, Kusanagi version, will also come with its own exclusive packaging, which is very much the same as the other version, just in different colors. Instead of the orange sort of circling around, it's going to be in green. We'll have that we'll be able to show you guys that as well. And the packaging itself will be very similar, but it will have green accents, and it'll say the Blade of Kusanagi version, as opposed to just the standard version of the Ami here. One more thing, CHOCKS. Again, we've always talked about how we wish to make sure that all collectors have all the information that they need to have. It's important that people know ahead of time when they make their decisions or when they're purchasing things. But we will be releasing some variants of these pieces in the karmic transformation mode, where actually Ami is now in a much darker color. It's more like a black gray. We will be making one of those versions, but we will not be releasing those for now. We will do those in the future after these have been released. But it's important that if that's something that you might be interested in, if that's what you would rather purchase the karmic transformation version, you can wait for that piece, or you can get both, or however you want to go ahead and purchase whatever you want to do. It's just important that you're absolutely informed with all that information. So more information on the karmic transformation version later on, Chocks. That's for another video. All right, Chocks.
We should definitely need to put that information in the club as well.
Yes, absolutely. Once that's
One question though, because we did mention to the guys right at the start of the video that this version will have a quarter scale resin later. How about this one? For those guys.
So we've developed it that the exclusive version of the 1/4 one will actually be able to be interchangeable with. We changed the engineering so it will be interchangeable with that. Yeah.
Just an extra information for me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Extra information for those guys that happy with this one, but also waiting for the resin piece. So.
Oh, sorry. To be clear, that's the definitive version. So we have the exclusive version when it turns on. The definitive version comes with the extra piece as well. Does that make sense? Well, we can talk about more about that later on. Just giving it all away.
Okay.
Before we go and do some comparison shots and some of those shout-outs, just want to give us an idea on the sizing, Chocks.
Of course. I mean,
And the weights and stuff.
exactly right. All right. Straight away on the box, it says 9-inch PVC. But just to give you some extra information, the height again for this one up to this point is going to be 9-inch. 9-inch PVC. So that's 23 centimeters. Because because these two PVCs share the same packaging, the information will be the same for both of them.
Right, I mean, this is very slightly taller, but...
Yes, ever so slightly taller.
Right,
but you
right,
can
because of
round-
the split, yeah.
Because of,
It's
this, because of
approximately,
that flick bit, but it's kind of like you kind of round it up to the...
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of sound really weird, 8.7.
Right, sure. How about the other dimensions then,
Right,
Chocks?
okay, so the width, based on this looking forward, the width would be 8 inches wide, so that's 20 centimeters. And for the depth, that will be 9 inches, so that's 23 centimeters.
It's not too much of a big space commitment, Chocks. It's look great on, great for Akami fans for their collections. And the weight, Chocks?
And the weight, I have that around about 0.7 kg.
Excellent. All right, Chocks, so what we're going to do next...
And that is the actual PVC weight, not including the packaging.
Sure. So I guess now, Chocks, I believe it's all about them shout-outs then.
Oh, your favorite moment. All right, shout out. So, guys, if you are in the Collectors Club and you found that documentary thread in there, obviously besides your questions, I will randomly post a comment in there, and the first 10 people to reply to that comment will get a shout out from Alex.
All right, and I believe we have those. All right, shout out to Nana. Say how you doing, mate. Jake Mayer in the house. We got Mary Amsler. What's going on? We got shout out to Adam Foley. We have Amanda Kirby in the house. What's going on with Elaine Kennedy? How you doing? We got Jacqueline Ustermeyer. Neil Robinson. What's going on? We have P.A. Desperage Faye and Stefan McNally. How you doing? Boom.
Well done.
Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. All right, guys. Now, maybe this is something that you're interested in. Hopefully it is. Maybe you need to see how it might look with other parts of your Okami collection. Well, we have all the other pieces that we've done in our range, and we'd love to show that to you. And we're going to show you for a comparison in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Check it out. I love it, Chocks. Look at that. It's a sea of white.
And red.
White and red indeed.
And orange.
And orange and green.
And pink.
All right. So, guys, we really hope that you like what you see. Maybe you can now imagine, maybe you have the Ami over here, and you can now imagine what would the PVC look like next to her, and then you can maybe think, hey, I've got a space in my collection or whatever, however it might be for you when you see this. But Chocks, what an amazing group together.
Definitely. Looks good.
They look really good together. Really
Very
good together.
vibrant, very vivid.
Absolutely. Whew. All right, Chocks, is there anything that you want to add before we wrap this bad boy up?
No, again, please subscribe to our YouTube, follow our, Facebook, everything.
Let us
social
know
media.
if there's something else that you want to
Yeah.
see us do in the Okami range. Do you like to see Oki Wolf? Would you like to see some other characters? We'd love to hear what you say about that, of course, the other brush gods.
Yeah, do let us know in the Collectors Club or in the comments below. And yeah, we're always there checking out the comments, feedback, and without those, without the feedback, there wouldn't be any PVCs or any books.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Chocks, that's it. Another one
it.
done. I'm your host, Alex.
I'm Chockles.
FRF is love.
FRF is
I will
life.
see you in the next one. Peace.
Laters.
Boom! Check it out, guys. What have you got over there, Chocks?
All coming exclusive edition.
Yeah, what's on the top over there?
Divine Retribution.
Absolutely, we have the Blade of Kusanagi right here. Did you guys think that was coming up? What do you guys think of that? Oh, let me just make sure that this is... yeah, so guys, this was a little something that we've been working on. I hope you guys like that. This was something that was a little bit challenging, wasn't it, Chocks, in terms of getting this this sort of right. So here's the updated. On the last time, there was a lot of LED dots going throughout the blade, at least for this one, and we've modified it in a way since where it's a lot more. You see that? Now we still have. We're going to see what we can do with this, with the one over here. It's still obviously not ideal, but it's okay. But this one was far more individual dots, and we've done a way to make it a lot more even flow. Now, of course, you can still see it on some areas, but it's not as dotty as the previous one. Not as dotty as the previous one, and we think that makes a huge difference in terms of just looking a little bit more of an even glow. Now, in order to get that even glow, we had to diffuse it by using like a material inside to diffuse it. However, it does mean the intensity goes down a little bit as a result, but I think the sacrifice of the intensity is much better when you consider the even flow of the, of the actual glow of the actual sword. Now, Chocks, let's pass this over to you. Now, this one also is this for me is not strong enough, and I'll tell you the reason why, and it's something that we will look to improve on at the production stage. Now, of course, the lights are on bright, and of course you can see it in the dark, but this is in red lights, and I think there's a brighter intensity with white and yellow lights. So I'm going to look to paint a little bit darker red on this. So when I turn on the white and yellow lights that's going to be inside, it's going to give a little bit more intensity to it, because white is inherently a little bit stronger. Of course, we don't want it to turn pink, so that's why we have to paint this a little bit thicker. Of course, when you paint it too thick, Chocks, it might cover the lights as well. So there's a lot of that back and forth that we are still going to tweak before we get this bad boy or bad girl into your hand, or good girl, I should say, the goodest of girls. So let us know in the comments, were you expecting this? Were you expecting that? There is also something else that I only said in one sentence that is important that you hear and you understand. Oh, Chocks, we've hit over 250, so that's 6 people. Okay. And that is, the other thing is we're going to be doing, just to be clear, right? After this is already in your hands, now it's really important that, as you know, we're going to be going live in the next 20 minutes or so. It's really important that we make sure that you guys is informed.
Actually, we did hit 6 people a while back.
What? Hit what?
6 people. Yeah, a while back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what, we hit 2...
Yeah, we did. We passed it. 251.
Oh, before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, cool. That you have all the information that you need to know in order to make an informed buying decision. Now, I know, Chocks has always told me, Chocks is really great. He's joined the company being a lifelong collector, and he can really ground me in terms of making sure that our practices are as pro-consumer as possible, and that also comes towards things like when things are announced after the fact. It's kind of, how do I say, we try our best when we can to make sure that you have the decisions, all the information to make your decision when you're purchasing something. So just to reiterate, the first one is, yes, this one is going to be available at local retailers. We're not sure exactly where they are.
The standard edition.
Standard sort of edition, yeah, and that's going to be available there. The exclusive version, which is this one, for the Divine Retribution version with the extra box, blah, 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 blah. We'll talk about that a little bit more, go over that on our website. That's one piece of information. The second one, of course, the Kusanagi version will be available on our website as well, and only on our website. The next thing. Now there was a sentence in there just to make sure that just so you make sure that you have the information. We said two things. The first one is well documented. There will be a resin version of this piece. And we will probably make that, of this piece, where there will be this version as well. All that was being said, right? That the resin version, significantly bigger, significantly more expensive, handmade, etc., as people know about resins, that will be available in 4 to 5 months, something like that. We're not exactly sure what the date is, but something like that. Okay, so that will be coming. We want to make sure that if you are interested in the resin one, no worries, just skip this one and wait for that one. If you're not interested or you want both, as long as you have the information. The next thing to say is, which I said in one sentence, and it's very easy for you to miss it, there will be a karmic transformation version of both of these. Now, if you're not familiar with the karmic transformations, that means that there are some variants on the color scheme of Ami, and that is going to be the kind of dark gray version of Ami. That's one of the karmic transformations, dark gray with a kind of darker logo, pattern on her. That is something that we will look to launch after these have been completed in the marketplace. Very similar to kind of what we're going to be doing with the Spyro PVC color variants. Again, it's going to be very limited. I mean, in the sense that, it's just going to be on our website, etc., etc. So as long as you have all the information that you need with regards to the
I'm sure we can make a post.
Yeah, we will do.
Yeah,
we will do.
We'll make a post and say, hey, this. I mean, the exclusive version will come later on with a resin piece, and then the karmic transformation will.
Right, I think you're absolutely
well.
right. This is the first time that we're kind of doing this in advance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we have to. So it's kind of like new for us, but you're absolutely right. We should do a post about that. So. How soon do you think it will be shipped out? Oh no, it will be shipped out pretty soon. We'll talk about that a little bit later, about the release dates on that. But we want to make sure that you have the information on that. Okay, so that's the first thing. We've got a short video for you guys just to go through all the different options again, and we will talk about that a little bit more once that's finished. We'll come back with the pricing, the timing, all that good stuff, and order information. All right, guys. So we'll see you very, very soon when I get this sorted out. 1 second. Where is it? Okay, I believe that's it there. All right, guys. We'll see you in a second. Boom! Check out that hype trailer done by Ting and Enoch together.
That's
Is that
right.
right, or was that just all Ting?
Mainly Ting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who did the 3D like rendering of that? That's new.
I'm not quite sure on that one. Actually.
It's nice,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
What's up, Michael? Thanks for joining. So, there was a lot of information in there, a lot of different things. A lot of people might not have expected all that sort of stuff. So, definitely do let us know if there are some questions. We're going to go through now to go through the pricing, the timing, all that sort of stuff. But if there's any other questions that you might have, do let us know. So yeah, this is so these are TF04 and TF05, but OKM1 and OKM2. Honestly, I watch new guys come onto the stream and going, what is going on? It's like I feel like our style is kind of quite unique, Chocks, in terms of how you order things, what are the namings of things, and I feel like you need to go through an education to actually get in one of these.
I'm still surprised. Like even if we did do one of these videos, people still get confused, even with the video.
Right.
Yeah.
Because no one reads those pre-order. No one reads
reads
the
all that
pre-order
pre-order
guide. Sorry about that,
Yeah.
Miguel. Let me get this up here.
All right, guys. So we will go through all the information, the pricing, shipping costs, etc., etc.
Yeah.
All that information with regards to future Okami products, those will be posted separately in the club once we've gone through all this information, right? Because I know there's quite a lot of information to digest. So whether you're waiting for the resin or you're waiting for the
What's
the
up,
next
Bruno?
PVC, that will be presented a little bit later, okay? All right, guys. So tonight, yes. All right.
Easy.
On the website will be both these versions, okay? On the website after the stream. So the exclusive edition of this and the Blade of Kusanagi. Okay? If you want the standard version, that will be available to pre-order at your local retailer. Okay? The standard version will be just basic packaging, no
Okay.
LEDs.
Hold on.
Okay?
Speaking of which, we got the packaging.
Yeah.
So yeah, go on. We brought it over, so you might as well bust it out.
So let's start off with the standard first, all right? So
Yeah.
people just the basics, right? Start off with the basic foundation. What is included in the standard edition?
That's right.
All right.
The poor girls worked really hard on this, Chocks.
Oh, you just realized, yeah?
No, I'll just say you're like, oh yeah, the standard of as a show it.
So you mind turning that
What?
turning the lights off the Divine?
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
We're gonna show them the standard.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So this is
This-
inside. Come over
This.
here. Yeah.
All right, without LEDs, there will be no LEDs, no numbered base. It's just simple Okami.
And we will change this image here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is included in this packaging. So when you go into the stores or pre-order from your local retailer, this is what you expect. In there will be a diorama backdrop. Also, in there will be a leaflet with 500 reward points. Standard affair across all our standard PVCs. Okay?
Right.
So if you go into the shop and pick up a Link, a Spyro, a Crash, it comes like this.
Now, I just want to say, this is just a handmade box. Now, one of the cool things that we haven't implemented on this yet, because it's just a handmade box, is you see these beautiful. It's kind of hard to see. That's the kind of the point.
What, the swirls?
Yeah. So you can sort of see some sort of swirls
Yeah, you can see
here,
it.
there, and some swirls along here, right? Well, these swirls, along here, we're gonna have those. Well, you can really see the swirls here, right? These super obvious swirls start disappearing as it goes further up, as it starts going further up. But the cool thing that we're gonna do is you use UV print as it transitions from here into here. Start using UV print up along here of that swirl. As I said, you can still see the swirls, right? But they're kind of subtle. And then what we're gonna do is have that with UV. So when it catches the light, you're gonna see it a lot more, and it's gonna look cool. I mean, if you've seen the Spyro final box, we did it with the scales. you know, that kind of nice effect. We'll have that with this as well.
Sure.
And of course, along here we'll have a sticker, which is a genuine FRF product, unless it's placed on. I mean, yeah, it's a genuine FRF sticker.
Yeah, so guys, this is just a mock-up, okay?
Right, just a mock-up, and of course, that looks great over there. And we've got the window box at the top in order to allow for the light to come in. We talked about that in the, I'm not just repeating myself, but I don't know if we actually talked about having the UV going across there. So yes, Chocks, there you go.
Okay, let's keep it nice and simple. So standard edition, standard box with the standard Okami Divine Retribution. Okay, so that is available at your local retailer. So for the website, the exclusive edition. So again,
This one
with
lights
on,
and animated lights.
2 different modes.
Yep.
Underneath the base will be a numbered base,
Number on it,
a
yeah.
limited numbered base, and again it comes with this packaging, as well as this premium packaging.
Now, again, this is handmade. We talked about this as well. If you are familiar with this kind of packaging that we do, it's really gorgeous. This is going to be in beautiful gold, orange foil along here. This is going to be in brown or black foil, I think, something like that, right? Can't remember. It's going to be it's going to be very shiny, Chocks.
Shiny, yes.
This is also going to have foil as well. This is going to be gloss on the Ami logo, on the Okami logo. This is going to look really, really nice.
Yep. And as soon as you open take off the lid of the box, you get this insert. In the insert, with, as always, on our website, pre-ordering the exclusive edition, you get your authenticity card.
Yep.
Okay. If you validate next week and get yourself a signature edition, in there will be another slot that the signature card goes.
I believe it's probably in that.
No, I think it's on this one. Only one mock-up. And then this is the bottom of the
Sure,
box.
that was 2.
So the standard packaging will go inside this, and then this will be
And that have the number on the bottom, right?
yeah, number on the bottom
There's
as
a number
well.
on the bottom, which is also going to be in foil, right? That's going to be in foil, and then this is going to be in foil. And what foil means is shiny. That's what it means.
So all this will be protected in a brown box, and then that brown box will be protected with the shipper box. Okay, guys?
Absolutely.
So that is the exclusive edition available on our website later on after the stream.
And all that good stuff is the same with the Kusanagi version.
Okay, so Blade of Kusanagi, that again, LEDs included, 2 different light modes, my understanding, yes, 2 different light modes, and again, there will be a numbered base. And that will have its own separate packaging.
That's right, which is the same as the other one, but in green.
Yep, same as the other one, but in green. Okay, guys, so
Anybody got time for opening that up?
okay. Both available to pre-order after the stream. Okay, so the pre-order starts tonight, 21st of June, and the pre-orders are open until 26th of July. However, if the edition size does not reach 3,000, we will continue to open the pre-orders until it's ready to go into production.
And that's separate, by the way.
Yeah.
So 3,000, 3,000.
That's right.
But it's much more likely that we just go into that we don't hit that. But
Okay. So, okay, guys. So this is estimated release date. We currently have that at Q4 2019. Yeah, Q4 2019. That is, the last 3 months of the year. That's 1 quarter. Okay. So we do offer payment plans. Okay. Up to maximum 6 months.
Is it?
Yeah, PVCs,
Okay.
not resins. PVCs. Okay. Minimum 3 months. Maximum 6 months. Okay. The deposit is 20%.
Is it?
It's 20%.
Okay.
Okay.
Why? This is
Not
what we do.
10%. It's what we always been doing. 20%.
Is it?
Right? Yes.
Okay.
Welcome back. All
Yeah,
right.
it's been a while.
20%. Right. Deposit. All right. We never ever take full payment. It's always a deposit, and then you can choose whether you want to go on a flexi payment plan or you want to pay the rest once the item is ready to
Right.
ship out. Okay. All right.
And 20% is non-refundable.
NRD.
NRD.
Okay. As always, there will be a giveaway with every single launch. This giveaway, we are giving out 3 of these exclusive editions. So make sure you do enter that. The post will be posted on the main Facebook page.
Nice.
All right.
Any of these?
No. 3 of these.
Oh, mine.
Okay. All right. Before we go into the shipping costs, just want to highlight that validation is next week, 28th of June, Friday. For those guys that pre-ordered at Gamescom, we will let you know to come back and validate. You hear that, Lorenzo? Make sure you tell the Gamescom guys to come back and validate. And we will honor the pricing that you paid at Gamescom. Okay? For Gamescom guys. All right? We will honor that pricing that we set back then. Okay, now we start talking about the pricing for the exclusive edition and the Blade of Kusanagi. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, exclusive edition. $114.99.
So you have to pay a 20% deposit, right, Chocks? So
Okay.
114.99. So 115 times by 20. So that is $23.
Okay.
Okay.
For the NRD.
For the NRD.
Yes.
Okay. $23 today to reserve it, right?
I choose a 6-month plan.
So I go 115 minus 23. You go for a 6-month plan. That basically is $15 a month. For
$15. Yeah, $15 a month.
$15
for this
a month.
one.
Yeah.
Exclusive packaging, authenticity card.
Yeah.
Signature edition. So remember, guys, that signature edition. If you get it today, you get some extra reward points, and inside the pack.
318. Boom.
Oh, okay. And then it doesn't update here because it's still playing. But so yes, you inside the standard packaging, you get 500 reward points, and if you validate next week, you get extra reward points. So there's quite a lot of reward points for this PVC. Okay?
Yeah.
Guys, if you missed out all the information, don't worry. We will post an FAQ and all that other stuff right after the stream.
Alright.
All right. Now we're talking about the Blade of Kusanagi. That $114.99, exactly the same price as the Divine Retribution. Okay. So if you want this one, 115. You want that one, 115. Okay. However, you guys are asking, is there a combo edition?
Boom.
Boom. There is. Okay. Both of these with their exclusive premium packaging, both with LEDs, numbered base, etc., etc. $199.99. All right. So that
So it's a discount of $30.
discount of $30. All right.
All right. So if you do that, that is of course a 20% deposit again.
20%
So
deposit.
$40.
Yeah.
Minus 40 divided by 6 equals $26 a month.
Mm-hmm.
$26 a month for 6 months.
That's right. There you go, guys.
There you go. There you go.
3 separate SKUs on the website. So after the stream, we will post that. Again, validation next week. This is, again, the first in the line, Okami PVC line.
Yeah.
So when you come back and validate, you are validating for low numbers, first come, first serve, and combos will be the same number because they're sharing the same pool, I believe, right?
Correct.
Correct. So don't forget to check out the FAQ on how to pre-order and how to validate. It's the same process. If you stuck around all this time and watched Artorias bus validation earlier on, it's exactly the same process.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Cool. So we will be putting this up on the website pretty soon, but you're going to give us the shipping cost, are you, Jocks?
Yeah, I'm gonna find out the.
Yeah, so it's not on the website right now. It'll be on after the stream. And more importantly, after the reward points. How many reward points am I giving out this time? Mail. You can look yourself.
Busy day.
Alright, you got it then, Chocks.
It's just the one.
Sure, it's the same, I guess.
How come they didn't put the combo?
The combo's... I guess it would just be double.
It should be double, yeah, but why is it not on there? Alright, guys.
Now remember, we have warehouses in 5 locations, so if you're local to those places, you won't be dinged by import fees. And the first one is in the US, Canada, the EU, the UK, and Hong Kong. So those are the places that you can if you're local to those places, you will not be dinged by import fees.
That's not right.
Is that not the right amount?
No,
That's not right.
that's not right.
Do you want us to look online?
Yeah.
We were doing so well, Chocks.
Okay.
What were you looking at?
The same link I was just clicked on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the shipping costs for
That's better, isn't it?
the shipping cost for the exclusive and the shipping cost for the Sword of Kusanagi. All right, individual ones. Okay, Zone 1 US, it's $25. Okay, Zone 1 United States 25. Europe, that includes Finland, France, Germany, Greece, UK. That's 26 USD. 26 USD. For Canada, that's 26 USD. For Australia, that's 45 USD. And for example, Zone 3, 4, 5, like India, Cyprus, Egypt, Costa Rica, that is 65 US dollars. Alright guys, if you want more information, make sure to check out the FAQ. And for the combo edition, that is pretty much just times 2.
Times two
Yeah,
times.
So United States is 50, Europe 52, Australia 90, Canada 52, and the Zone 3, 4, and 5, that is 130. Alright guys.
Cool. Is that it? A wrap?
That's it. So make sure to come back next Friday for validation. Alright. We will post the documentary, the hype video, the giveaways, all that lovely stuff as always after the stream. Do let us know in the club. Rally for other characters because it's
This is anything about Okami this
anything that's Okami, so rally for any other characters or any other variants that you want to see in the PVC range. We will make a post with regards to resin and the next PVC in the line for Okami. So
week? Well, as in the Kame transformation. Or
yeah.
I
So
suppose
just to
well.
keep an eye out for that later on. And yeah, I believe that I've covered pretty much everything else.
Are we able to change our Gamescom order to a combo pack without losing $75 combo? Nope. Sorry, VC, cannot. You've already got yourself a super deal at $75, which you only paid €50 for, and then the all you need to do is just then order individually. If you just order individually this one, you can get, it works out as cheaper, doesn't it? 75 plus
190, isn't it? 75, 115, yeah, 190.
It works out at 190 exactly.
190, yeah.
Yeah, so you actually make another discount on that as well. Cool, Chocks. All right, guys. So I don't believe there's any other questions for us. I think it's all pretty straightforward. Everyone's like, new people are like, what do you mean straightforward? It's like the most complicated thing ever.
Don't worry, guys. That's
But the
why
beauty is the club is there to help
Yeah.
as well. We'll
The
be there to
admin.
help as well.
Yeah.
The admins as well. So please do join the club if you haven't joined, and you can ask for any of that sort of updates and those questions, and we will be sure to let you know and get right back to you. All right, Chocks, is there anything you want to add before we wrap this bad boy up?
no. So let's start working on making sure those links are live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first is going to be a feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
Okay, going to be feeding frenzy. We'll do that first.
Okay.
After we've done the feeding frenzy, we will then make it live.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, not much more to say, Chocks.
Not much more to say.
Not much more to say.
Finally, at long last.
At long last, ever since Gamescom. a year ago is when we debuted her. All right, guys. So I just want to say thank you very much. I will be back at it again on Sunday for Let's Play Search number something.
Oh, 325.
Nice. Let's Play Search number something for Sekiro. I'll continue with that on Sunday. We will be, of course, back at it again next week for 1, 2, 3 for the validation of Ami PVC. You guys had it easy. The first half of the year, you had it easy. No escaping. The next part of the year, the next half of the year, we feel that we're gonna start ramping up again. So I hope you guys have had it easy, enjoyed your holiday, but it's back to business time. That's all I can say about that. All right, guys. Let's wrap this up, Chocks.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
That's done. This has been Friday Q&A with Chocks today 122. It has been the 21st of June 2019. Have a great day, America. Have a great evening, EU. You should be sleeping, Asia, and you most certainly should be sleeping, Australia. Can't do without you guys. I'm your host, Alex.
I'm Chockles.
FRF is love.
FRF is life.
And we'll see you in the next one. Peace. Exactly. Put that.
Laters. I gotta put that out.
Exactly.